Pop Talk is where it's at, baby.
Oh my God, who the hell cares?
I care, and welcome one and all to PACIFIC414 Pop Talk, along with Cash Money 007 and Baron Norman Tag. I am your host, Mike, and this afternoon we have a couple of major stories to talk about. One of them, I'm waiting for all the evidence to come out before I make any quick judgments, while the other one, boy, it sounds like it's going to be quite the mess. If you know what I mean, when it comes to Victoria Alonso, Disney, and Marvel. But of course, today is the Sunday edition of PACIFIC414 Pop Talk. And before we get into today's show, I do want to thank those of you who have been waiting. Lorenzo Sleevestack was here earlier. So I want to say thank you to Lorenzo and also Brandon Looney Tunes Fan 2000. We have Kathy Skywalker, some guy who's on the panel by the name of Baron Norman Tag.
Baron Ubu Tag. Yeah.
Who is that jerk?
I don't know.
I heard he's an ass. Yeah.
He is.
We have Paul, the Star Wars guys. And Kathy Skywalker is saying, tired. Tried going live earlier, but kept losing connection on my phone. Oh boy.
Maybe it's funny.
Ha
I kill me. I kill me.
Like Canada.
So, gentlemen, how are you doing today?
You know, after like the half a year, 8 months, 9 months of bullshit I've gone through, and I'm sorry, we're only in 2 minutes, so screw you, YouTube. I'm entitled. You know, I have not been. This is the best I've been feeling in that amount of time. So a lot of weight's been taken off my shoulders and the long sufferings as well, and I'm starting to feel like my old self. In other words, you got the asshole back.
Whoa, wait. So,
Got it back.
In other words,
it never left.
You tell him I'm coming, and hell's coming with me, you hear? Hell's coming with me!
Now hold on a second. The asshole never left. Like,
No,
Baron says he was gone, but he's still lurking around in the shadows.
Well, no, I mean, you had the cranky son of a bitch, and now I'm back to being just an asshole. So
You vote. Yeah.
How many assholes we got on this ship anyhow?
Yo!
I knew it. I'm surrounded by assholes.
And they're all named Baron.
2, 3 assholes.
And I still have to say, I love that clip because there's only one guy sitting down. Everybody else is staying, but there's that one guy.
He's the rebel of the group.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. He's not.
But of course, I do want to mention that we are streaming on both Baron Norman Tags, Phantomology, and PACIFIC414.
Oh,
Yeah.
More
Well, I
for Baron. Yes.
Well, you see, I thought I was going to have to start this wing ding up, so I thought, okay, let's have a little bit of fun. But
Nice. Well,
no, Mike had to ruin all my fun.
by the way, why does it still feel that people are being unsubscribed on YouTube? And this
Because
is
they
getting
are?
annoying.
There
It's
are.
getting annoying. And I saw one of my friends. I'm like, I swear I subbed to this guy before, and now it shows I'm not. What is going on?
Because people are still being unsubbed, even though YouTube will deny it. And if you notice, views can be taken away, likes can be taken away. I've ended a stream one time with 17 likes.
Yeah.
Few hours later, it only has 15. It's like, okay, so what happened to those other 2 likes? Did they just get up and walk away into the digital world that we know as the internet?
Well, I remember.
You know whose fault it is? I figured it out. It's Paul's fault. You know why? Because he keeps playing games on easy mode, and there's some kind of connection there. I'm
Oh,
sure of
you
it.
think so, huh?
I'm sure. Yeah, I think so.
You really think so, huh?
Yeah.
Well, I remember. Oh, you got it. Okay, I was going to hit that one.
And
I was on, watching Doomcock a while back, and we're
uh-huh.
watching the light counter go hundreds down, hundreds.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah.
it's like, no, 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 that's not right.
Hmm. Well,
Yeah.
another thing I've also noticed is you could be in StreamYards. It'll tell you, as far as your viewership is concerned, one number. You go to YouTube Studio, it says another number.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I don't know who to believe anymore.
At this rate, I don't.
Yeah.
But of course, speaking of, do we believe it or should we wait for all the evidence to present itself before we jump to any conclusions? And I'm going to go ahead and tell everybody here that I am going to wait for all the evidence to come out
Yes.
before I
Yes.
jump to any conclusions on this one.
Yeah, the whole Justin
Wow.
Roiland thing with Rick and Morty, it looks like he's clean
Mhm.
now. And it's just like, it's so easy sometimes to jump and you see tweets. And I know stuff can be fabricated and this and that, especially nowadays. But it looks bad. But it's also like, look, if you're in a working environment, whoever you are, can't you just be a better person? Is that not possible? Some with people it seems, but look at even we go back to excuse me, Dustin Hoffman.
Mhm.
I don't even know. Did we
Mhm.
just 30 years ago he supposedly did this stuff on Tootsie, and did he? Or were just people looking for money or looking for fame or attention or whatever? I don't know. But they
Well,
certainly ruined the man's career.
None of us here know because none of us were on the set at the time. And
Exactly.
well, more importantly, is there a history? Are there other movies where people are saying the same thing, or is it just this one film?
Exactly. Right.
I mean, there would be a history going on.
Mhm.
There's stuff that happened even with Billy D. Williams a number of years ago. Does that mean we demonize the man forever? Well, what he did was not good at all. But
No,
uh,
yeah,
I,
spousal abuse. If I remember right, yeah.
yes.
It's sad because we love him, but looks like he's bounded back from that. It looks like he's served whatever. So, and nothing else has come out of him being that way. So,
Yep.
So this story that I got from Cosmic Book News says Jonathan Majors claimed to be cruel, psychopath, and abuser. Following the Marvel star's arrest, people connected to the industry alleged the actor has a well-known history of abuse. And you know, right now, I'm treating, except for the arrest, we do know that that actually happened, but
yep.
everybody's saying this about Jonathan Majors. I'm just treating it as rumor because
Right.
it's Hollywood. They'll eat their own.
Oh yeah, I mean, just like the woke, It's just that's what it is. It's woke eating on woke, really.
The article starts off by saying Saturday morning, Marvel star Jonathan Majors was arrested on charges of strangulation, assault, and harassment, with it now claimed the actor has a well known history and pattern of abusive and bad behavior.
Hmm.
A pair of users on Twitter involved with the industry claimed to know details about Jonathan Majors and alleged the actor is cruel, psychopath, an abuser, and more. And how do we know that these so called insiders actually know this information or they're just trying to kick someone while they're down?
Well, and more importantly, if he was going around saying stuff like that, was it just like we Josh, saying we're assholes, stuff like that?
Mhm. AB Allen on Twitter is a filmmaker who first tweeted the week of the release of Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania, which stars Major as the MCU's next big villain, Kane the Conqueror, that there's a particular actor relatively new on the scene who Twitter has violently falling head over heels for.
That's interesting.
And in actuality, is a vicious, cruel, abusive human being, both professionally and in his personal life. And every new viral thirst tweet about him drives me insane. Yeah, but you also have these people on Twitter that will go after people and harass people.
Always.
Just because, yeah.
Yeah. Following the news of Major's arrest, another user brought up Allen's tweet, which saw Allen confirm the tweet is about Jonathan Majors. Ding, 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 ding.
Hmm.
It's so easy to throw people under the bus nowadays, especially because of social media and just like, oh, we know he did it. My goodness, we know he did it. But we're supposed to be in a country innocent until proven guilty. But
well, especially with these people on Twitter, some have an axe to grind.
They do.
So any dirt they can throw at somebody, negative most of the time, they're going to do it. They don't care if there's an ounce of truth to it or not.
Yeah. Well, one of the bad things is they can do this with anonymity because the victims are never identified for their protection, but the accused can have their face smeared all over the place, even if they're proven innocent. The damage is done. No one comes back later saying, oh, sorry. No, they usually gets buried away, and this person has stigma for the rest of their life. And they're damaged in their career. Let's look back at the bombing that happened down in Atlanta during the Olympics. And you had that guard. I can't remember what his name is, but, he was a rent-a-cop, but he wanted to be a cop. He discovered the bomb, told everybody to get the hell out, and he was a hero. And then they started attacking him by saying, well, maybe he planted it because, and, this is coming from the press and the FBI, and they're doing all this story, and then they proved, no, he's innocent. But he was all damaged. He couldn't even leave the house. And they even had to sit back and like do he's a loser joke because he lives with his mom. Well, maybe he was taking care of his mom. Okay?
Right.
You don't know what kind of condition his mom was in at the time, and maybe she needed his help.
But even back then, it's just like the whole thing with the mob mentality, and they want to claim that you're part of another mob. It's like all you guys do is keep putting words in our mouth. Did we ever say that we hated these people? Did we ever? No. But you ask us to not make fun of this stuff when this stuff is so much hypocrisy all the time.
Well, you have to get into the mindset a little bit here, Cash. It's not that we don't hate them, right? We hate what they're representing and we hate what they're doing. But in their mind, because of that, we hate them.
Right.
They can't have that separation between a human being and your actions.
Exactly.
And they don't believe in, well, as the old Christian saying goes, you hate the sin, love the sinner. They hate that.
Right. Yes.
And it's like, well, no, we differentiate. There's we're not
people
going after.
Yeah, exactly. And there's even people who, even if you're not religious, like don't you all understand that we're all sinners? Like this is not trying to get into the Bible and stuff, but it's just the facts. And you explain that to certain, I'm not. But anyways, Baron, I didn't want to interrupt you. Go ahead.
Oh, no. I mean, it's kind of that way. And it's like, well, if we're going to go with the humanism, we're failing.
Exactly.
Because you talk to a lot of these people who are in humanism and all that, and the last thing they sit back and say they can't do is forgive. I mean, everyone from J. Michael Jasinski to Harlan Ellison and all these people, and even Gene Roddenberry, all these people who are professing to have this better future, but they can't forgive. Well, the thing is, that's the first step. Yeah. You have to bury the hatchet. If you can't bury hatchets, and you're going to hold on to grudges for generations, in other words, these two people hate each other. Why? Well, because. Well, we're not going to get anywhere. It's a failure.
No, we're not.
And that's why I call bullshit on those things. It's like, you need to humble yourself. People can't be humble.
And yeah, and they can't. And it's like, well, there's just people out there that, and I know hate is such a strong word, but it's like, how can you not? It's like, look at what these people, look at what people in government, I mean, you go down the line, look at the lies that people are spreading, look at how they just throw out these buzzwords. And it's like, do you just keep getting mad about it, or do you just make fun of it? I feel like making fun of it is just easier, because if you just want to spend your life being angry, it's not going to help anything.
And that's why humor and such is looked down upon in the oppressive
Yes.
society, because that's exactly what you're doing. You're laughing at them, and they have such an ego. That's why you don't have comedy films in North Korea, even though North Korea is probably one of the greatest producer of films, because of, they know it's going to be great propaganda, but no humor, because you could be making fun of the government, and we can't do that.
Right.
No, it's like Friday night. I was playing Lollipop Chainsaw, and that game requires you to have a sense of humor because it pokes
really
fun at the
does.
horror genre, and it just pokes fun at different tropes.
What we need to also push in society is that we need more politically. We don't need to be more politically correct. We need to be more politically incorrect or incorrect. Excuse me. We don't. This PC world that we have created become this cancer, and it's become a cancer because these words aren't good, but these are fine, and all this stupid stuff.
Right.
It just goes along the same lines as all this stuff with people being accused of this and that. It's like, even you go back to the Duke lacrosse team, those young men were having their lives ruined by this young woman, and then she turned out to be a liar. And it's just like, here we go again, and the media gets on this, and even they like, well, they did, I think it was ESPN did a 30 for 30. Even they admitted, like, we were wrong. And that's another thing. A lot of the media just admit that, you know what, we made a mistake. We'll actually try to do better next time.
Right.
The problem is that they're so up on their high horse,
Yes.
they don't see what they're doing as being wrong in any degree.
And when they say we're supposed to like this person, it's like, have you seen the history of some of these people, and maybe even other people, their history? Has their history ever changed? No. So then why are we supposed to like them? It's not about going out and causing violence. It's about the hypocrisy and the fact that a number of people are could be better people. But when somebody lies to you over and over and over and over again, what are you supposed to think? And they're just actually being evil too. Like, it's so aggravating.
Well, that's just it. I mean, something needs to be done about the media to protect those that are being accused, as much as you are trying to protect those that are accusing, if that's the case. And I just remember back, one of the Kennedy clan is like William Kennedy Smith, I believe it was, and they're accusing him of sexual improprieties down in Florida in the Kennedy mansion, Ted Kennedy mansion down there. Of course, he doesn't go by Kennedy; he just goes by his last name. But the press had to put that Kennedy in there. They had to put that in there so that you got that out there. And then through the trial, they aired it. And that's where that blue dot situation came in, where they put the blue dot over the face during when the person's on the stand. It's like, well, why don't you do it for good old, Smith? Doesn't he have a little bit of protection on that? In fact, why are you even airing this on TV? Of course, it was shown that he was innocent. But, of course, he's all ruined, Just like the lacrosse team was ruined. They were destroyed. These men were going for a dream, and it was snatched from them. And I'm going to say it right here. And a racist attack. Because there's a woman of color they accused, all these preppy white boys. So, of course, it's great out of Al Sharpton's playbook when he pulled the same stunt with Tanya Brawley, or whatever her name is, Brawley, where she said she was attacked and he found out, he staged the whole thing, was a lie, but he never saw time. He should have been thrown into jail for 20, 30 years. Because that could have caused, it almost did cause, a race war.
Yeah. So getting back to this article, it says when another user said Allen should have named Majors, Allen replied that it isn't his role. Right. So you don't want to name him, but you're gonna go ahead and start building the fire and saying that there's
Mhm.
somebody in this movie that's currently out that isn't who they appear according to you and your tweet.
Mhm.
And there's a quote here that says, if it had happened to me or I had seen it directly, I would have, but the people he has abused, mistreated, chose to stay silent, perhaps for their own safety. It is not my role to out what he did and thereby out them without their consent, he
But
said.
isn't he?
He
Isn't
is.
he?
He is.
He's a slimy piece of shit.
Yeah.
Even if he's guilty, even if Alan is guilty about it, he's a slimy piece of shit. All he's doing is going out there and trying to get attention for himself.
It's what a lot of people who are narcissists on social media, it's just a perfect platform for them. It just is, unfortunately. I mean, you have friends who say these ridiculous things, and you think to yourself, should I reply to that person? Should I get in a big argument with them? Because what she said is, or he said, or whatever, is ignorant. Like, it's legitimately ignorant. And I love how they have to generalize everything. I know Ising words, but they have to. It has to group everybody together. I hate that so much. It's so just awful.
No,
Oh.
you're ignorant. You're ignorant. No, you're ignorant.
So funny on South Park. I love that episode.
I've seen posts on Facebook and Twitter. It's like, should I respond? Should I say something? And then there are times I go, no, I'm not going to waste my time.
No.
Why waste my time arguing with somebody online when there's other things I could be doing in reality instead of just living in that social media fantasy and going back and forth with somebody on and get nowhere.
Well, let's face it, arguing on Facebook or Twitter or anything like that is like playing chess with a pigeon. You might know your game, but the pigeon will go out there, knock all the pieces over, shut on the board, and then start dancing around saying, I won, I won.
We got an Orca Boy sighting in here.
Yes.
Yeah,
Poaching.
Shemp is out there.
Time for some poaching.
I was going to call him Curly Joe, but hey.
Oh, okay, that's more apt because, Shemp is Phil McCracken. He can be Curly Joe.
Yeah, calling us the Three Stooges. Well, if we're the Three Stooges, at least we're entertaining. I'm Mo, Baron's Curly, and Cash is Larry.
Yeah, where is McCracken? I saw he was over there bothering you. I saw him bothering you over there at good old Fats.
He will. He'll pop up again.
He'll
talk about
pop
the,
up.
talk about the CCP, and he just. I don't know. I think he just spins around in a circle.
All I've got to do is play this clip.
Excuse me, I'd just like to ask a question. What does God need with a starship?
I was just going to hit that. You beat me.
That movie is such a mess. I remember my brother for years and years and years said, just don't watch that film. Just don't waste your time.
Well, no, you know what? We need to have the watch party of that MST3K fan film where they ripped it apart.
Oh, you want?
Yeah, we're going to need to do that. Yeah, we should. That's fun. Yeah,
I'm interested.
That's the only way to watch it. That's the only way to watch it. But you know what? Phil has to watch it too because of his Caddyshack 2 bullshit.
Right.
Oh, Caddyshack 2. You know what? Next time I hear Phil mention Caddyshack 2, this is what I'm going to do to him.
All right, youngster, out you go.
Don't come back. Ever.
Has he trapped Paul's family yet?
He's trying to get Paul's whole family to watch Caddyshack 2, but if his family is listening right now, don't do it.
No.
It's a trap.
And Paul, if you're helping him out, you deserve to be expelled from the family. Excommunicated from your father's church. You know, all that. I mean, if you're in cahoots with Mr. McCracken over this, bye bye. You
You
are the
know,
weakest link. Goodbye.
you know what's going to happen, Baron. It's going to be like the Clean High Council. Paul's
Oh
going to be
yeah.
standing there. The High Council is going to be standing up and turning their backs to him.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Like we do.
But the Pat I Wannabe brings up a good point.
Mm-hmm.
New World Celebrity motto. Do you know who the F I think I am?
Well, I think it has been. How many times does a celebrity do that? You know, you know, do you
Mm-hmm.
know who I am? Do you know who I am?
Yeah. I mean, my dad was a California Highway Patrol officer.
Mm-hmm.
And one time he pulled over and Margaret, she tried pulling that on my dad. And Margaret's
Wow.
husband was looking at her going, quiet, dear. And my dad just said, press hard, 4 copies.
And she's such a good-looking woman too.
Yeah.
No, it would be funny if you would have pulled over like Eric Estrada sometime. You know, as a chip officer.
yeah. Yeah. That would have been funny. The
Mm-hmm.
real versus the fake.
Yeah.
But this article goes on to say Allen added the specifics of what I know, unfortunately, would still expose people who have been hurt and deserve not to become part of some larger media inquiry if they don't want to. So I'm not going to get into details, but now y'all know what his deal is. So, well, aren't you involved in his family? Haven't you already done that by saying that there's somebody in this movie who allegedly causes trouble? Who
Mm-hmm.
has allegedly done this, allegedly done that? He's just one of the many people stirring the pot.
Right, and the one person there saying you should have named him. No, I'll tell you one thing, because if he does get named and Majors is proven to be innocent, he can go after him for money
Oh
because that's
yeah,
slander. It's slander.
yeah, it is.
Oh, we got a Spock sighting, and we have a
Yes.
Tim's Talks sighting as well.
What?
Yes, we do. Welcome,
On your
gentlemen.
left.
Good to
Yeah.
see you.
What about on your right, though, Tim? What's on your right? No.
Bounds to the left of me, Joker's to the right. Here I am, stuck in the middle with Sunday Pop Talk. See, that's how I got over the copyright strike. See how we do that?
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. So the article says Jonathan Majors, people have known about him for years. In a deleted tweet, Tim Nicoli, co-founder of Society Theater and a Broadway actor and director, also confirmed problems with Jonathan Majors. I'm just going to say this about Jonathan Majors, be done with it. Folks at Yale and the broader NYC community have known about him for years. He's a sociopath and abuser. That it is how virtually everybody speaks about him. It's a shame it took this long for him to be reported, states the tweet. Nikolai also replied when asked about not speaking up and said he knows people who have been harmed directly.
Okay.
Gosh, it almost sounds like it's the mob.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I'm already seeing a. Go ahead, Baron.
It's the mob. It's the family. We're not happy with you. You didn't take the offer. You refused. Now you have to lay in the bed that you've made.
To stay on my daughter's wedding.
And the last part of this article says, I'm already seeing a bunch of why didn't you do anything, folks? People have tried. Ultimately, needed a victim to come forward. It's both simultaneously awful to know he is doing this and also a relief that he may never get to again, said Nikolai. A bunch of us are close with people and sometimes multiple people he has directly harmed. I don't know if they will speak on it. It is completely their decision. Regarding the arrest, Rep for Majors denied the allegations. He's done nothing wrong. We look forward to clearing his name and clearing this up. And the reason why I'm not going to make any quick judgments on this is because of the case against the Rick and Morty creator being dropped because of evidence that was brought forward.
Well, that's just it. This is hearsay. This is hearsay of everything we had on there. Now, my big question is, if this guy was well known within that community to be this way, why didn't they blacklist him? And let's face it, being blacklisted is not necessarily a bad thing. If a person is a problem and they know it, they don't get jobs.
Mm-hmm.
There's that little thing saying, watch out, this guy, because it is a tight circle amongst a lot of these people. They talk. And it's like, do you really want this guy? Because I don't know why they would. I never really heard of this guy until now. I know he's in the Marvel movie and all that, but I've never known much about him. Well, with all the stuff that we have out there, it's hard to keep track of everybody. But again, is he that powerful of draw that they got to have him in these things? Or is it one of those things, hey, we all know what type of schmuck this is. We're not going to, he's not going to be in this or he's not going to be in that. We're going to turn him down. Because that's happened before. They won people that have been problems. Look at Robert Downey Jr.
Yeah.
He was virtually blacklisted until Mel Gibson put him into a movie.
What about Brendan Fraser before winning an Oscar this year? He was pretty much blacklisted.
Mm-hmm.
It's true.
Yeah.
For whatever reason, I don't know.
Well, because he was calling out the sexual abusers. He was doing the Me Too before the Me Too. But the thing is, he's a guy, so obviously that's not as important.
Oh, of course not.
It's just like the Coreys. How they're all sexually abused.
Mm-hmm.
And the one's coming out, of course the other one's gone, sadly. But recounting all the problems. Do you think he gets much offers anymore? No. Can't remember who else is sitting back saying the same thing. It's like, yeah, they're not getting a job. I mean, James Wood isn't getting jobs because of his outspokenness. He's been blacklisted.
Which is crazy because they can't touch somebody like Mr. Who am I thinking of? There's one person, and there's like one or two conservatives in Hollywood that John Voight. They can't touch him for whatever reason. They can't cancel him. Well, he wouldn't let himself be canceled anyways. But they just went after James Woods. It's just insane.
Right.
Very insane.
Right, exactly. And James Wood doesn't care. He made it known. I got my money. I got everything. The guy's a Mensa member. The guy's got more brains than half these people.
Right.
And he's a very talented actor. He's done some very unique roles. But yeah, that's the case. So if they can blacklist these people for that, why isn't this guy blacklisted?
Mm-hmm.
And again, I'm going to associate blacklisting is not a bad thing if done properly. If the person does truly deserve it, it just means that you're not worth our time or effort because you're an asshole.
Well, think about the actors, directors, and producers and writers who were blacklisted during the McCarthy era.
Right. Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Right. And that wasn't done by the government. That was done by the studios.
Mm-hmm.
Because hiring these people would have been driving away advertisers and viewers and such because they didn't want to watch these people.
No.
We don't know yet. We don't want to get out your.
We don't want to get out our pitchforks and torches.
Let's
wait for the evidence to be brought forward first.
I mean, even with the Johnny Depp Amber Heard thing, yes, she seems like a pretty awful person, but it also seems like those two had a toxic relationship and they needed to break away anyways.
Yeah, I think there was equal BS between those two.
Yes.
But I mean, and so far we're only hearing about one thing.
That's right.
Yeah.
If we have all these people out, not only that, it's for one situation here. Where was all the other word? I mean, it goes through. Exactly. We knew about Bill Cosby being with his infidelity Even back in the days when he was popular with the Cosby Show. Of course, we didn't realize, that you had the roofie situation with some people. But the thing is we have known secrets. People know about this stuff, and it's one of those quiet, known secrets, or well-known secrets, or whatever you want to call it. It's like when Nathan Lane came out saying I'm gay. It's like, yeah, we knew. Yeah, so it's like we knew. Why is this news?
And the long suffering brings up Clint Eastwood, his trial back in '89.
Yeah, that was for palimony with what's her name? His Sandra Locke. Sandra Locke. That's what. It is. Who basically all her career has been was being hired for movies with Clint Eastwood.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, she didn't have much of a career before or after.
No.
That's a good point.
I remember she made some movie with Louis Anderson. I can't remember what it was, but it bombed. She directed and all that. It's like, nah. Of course, she's not with us anymore, so don't speak ill of the dead.
No,
why not?
No.
When you speak ill of them when they're alive, you can speak ill when they're dead. It's just honesty. Try saying don't speak ill of the dead about Stalin.
Stalin or a certain German leader from the 1930s and 40s.
Oh, you're talking about the little Austrian corporal. Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Or Fidel.
Yeah. I mean, I'll speak ill of those people.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not gonna say I won't. I will.
Mm-hmm.
I have.
You will.
Yeah, I'll continue to. So, gentlemen, do you have any further thoughts on this article?
Let's see what happens.
And the development.
Yeah, exactly. That's how I feel. Let's just see what happens.
Yeah, I'm going to take a wait and see approach. I'm going to wait for everything to be presented. And who knows? Maybe just like with the Rick and Morty creator, the police will investigate and say, there's no case here. There's no evidence to prove any of this.
Mm-hmm. Or maybe it is true. And it's like, okay, now we know. That's what this way. When Jared had his issue, when they first started coming out with this, okay, well, we just have the accusation. I'm not going to say anything until, whatever. Well, when it came down what he did, I opened up. It's like, okay, you deserve it, you smuck.
Mm-hmm. All right. So, going to go ahead and move on to our next article, which is, of course, Victoria Alonso and everything that has happened since then.
I don't really know much about this person. So some of these people at Marvel, no, but
there he goes, folks.
I need to start these people count.
I was just going to say that, just like we did with Brian, or
I just
Wesley saves the day.
I just had to do it, but I don't know this person. Do you guys know this person?
I don't know much about her. I just know she worked over there and she got fired. They made it sound like it was mutual, but we all know.
Yeah. Hold on 1 second.
I don't even know what this Argentina 1985 is.
I never even heard about it.
I don't know. I don't know. It sounds like something they might have been doing about Falkland War, maybe. I don't know. That's about when the Falkland War was, I think.
All right. So far.
I just did it as a joke, though. My goodness.
We'll see. We'll see how high that number gets.
Yeah.
It won't get that high.
Yeah. That's like the one person I knew from That's like the one person I knew from Canada. And he says, we don't say A all the time. And then they started talking and everything was like A. And it's like, yeah. It's going to be the same with you, Cash.
No, it won't.
And I also want to say hello to Scott Westbrook. How are you doing, Scott?
Hello.
Uh,
Greetings.
all right. So this article from Variety says Victoria Alonso attorney blasts ridiculous claim she was fired over Argentina 1985. Says executive was silenced by Disney.
Hmm.
Ha! You will be silent. Ha ha!
Of course, Mickey. Could I bring out the cat nine cat of nine
Gosh.
tails?
Yes, that is all of our bad impression of Disney characters.
We can do it. Ha.
I'm just trying to picture Goofy in a gimp suit.
A Disney spokesperson calls the comments by Alonso's lawyer unfortunate. Gosh. All right.
car accident.
Victoria Alonso's work as a producer of the Oscar nominated feature film Argentina 1985 is being cited as the reason to fire the longtime Marvel Studios executive, according to three sources with knowledge of Alonso's exit. Alonso's attorney, however, pushed back on that justification, calling it absolutely ridiculous. I mean, it's coming from her lawyer, so it's got to be true, right? Right? Right?
Lawyers never lie.
Sure.
Sure. Yeah, yeah. Believe all lawyers. All right. The article continues by saying in a statement to Variety, attorney Patty Glazer, who is representing Alonso in her departure from Disney, instead claims that the excuse me, the sorry about that.
You should
The
be.
executive was silenced by Disney and that she had the studio's blessing to work on Argentina 1985. Huh? We're going to let you work on it, then we're going to fire you. At issue, according to the sources, was Alonso's 2018 employment contract with Disney that prohibited her from working on projects for any rival studios. Argentina 1985, which tracks the real life trials of the country's final dictatorship, was produced in part by Amazon Studios, which released the film on Prime Video in October. Goes on to say Alonso, who was born and raised in Argentina, did not alert Disney to her work on Argentina 1985 in advance, sources say.
Mm-hmm.
Her years of service with Marvel, however, afforded Alonso enough clout that the studio grandfathered her moonlighting into a new employment agreement that Alonso signed last year, according to these sources, which explicitly forbade the executive from working any further outside of Marvel, including any extracurricular promotion. And it continues to say while projects at outside distributors are uncommon for an executive of Alonso's stature, they are not unheard of. After Argentina 1985 was selected by the eponymous nation as its official submission for the Academy Awards. However, Alonso hit the award season circuit to help bring the film to its eventual Oscar nomination for international film. Alonso was reminded repeatedly in writing that she was, sorry, in violation of her contract. These sources say, but she forged ahead anyway, walking the press line at the Oscars with Argentina 1985 director Santiago Mitri
Mm-hmm.
rather rather than as one of the executive producers of multiple nominee Black Panther, Wakanda Forever. Just 8 days later, Alonso was fired for breach of contract and violation of Disney's standards of business conduct. Well, they have standards?
Yeah. 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 Well, everyone's got
Uh,
standards. Are they good standards? So.
Maybe sometimes I don't know anymore. They might have a few good standards.
The idea that Disney both knew and approved her ability to work on Argentina in 1985, then ostensibly say they have cause to fire her over an interview or two in support of the film seems crazy, said one former Disney film executive. And let's see, it goes on to say the idea that Victoria was fired over a handful of press interviews relating to a personal passion project about human rights and democracy that was nominated for an Oscar and which she got Disney's blessing to work on is absolutely ridiculous, Glazer says. Victoria, a gay Latina who had the courage to
Mhm.
criticize Disney, was silenced. Then she was terminated. Then she refused to do something she believed was reprehensible. Disney and Marvel made a really poor decision that will have serious consequences. And it goes on to say there is a lot more to this story, and Victoria will be telling it shortly in one form or another. All right.
I hate what she is doing to me here. On this one, I have to slightly go towards Disney. If they have the paperwork that shows, no, you can't do this, and she still went ahead and then snubbed the studio at the Oscars, she is in violation. It's just like
Mhm.
violations of you can't talk about this project until it comes out. That stuff. And of course, notice what they had to do to secure sympathy. They had to throw out the gay card. Oh,
Yep.
she's
Put
gay.
they have to put a label on it. The media
Hmm.
always has to put some kind of label on it, some kind of description.
Hmm.
Yes.
Now, my question.
Instead of saying this former executive of Marvel Studios who was employed by Disney was fired for breach of contract.
Hmm. And it sounds like there is a paper trail.
Yeah, there just might be.
Now, again, we're talking about. Have you heard of this film before now?
No, not before
No,
this week.
no, exactly. You want to know why? You want to know why? The box office for this film was $871,621. That was the box office for this movie. When it came out, it was seen by 200,000 spectators in 298 theaters, making it the best opening for a national film since the Coof. And then during the second week, the film maintained first place in the box office, reached a little more than 211,000 in 314 theaters.
Hmm.
That by November 2022, the film had sold over 1 million tickets in Argentina, grossing 592 million pesos, or 3.2 million.
When, yeah, and when you have all this money, then and you look at the effects of MODOK, even without seeing the movie, it's right
Mm-hmm.
in your face in the trailer. You go, "What? What is this?"
Trust me, it wasn't easy to look at
And they
watching it
think
live.
because they can just do basically make a half sandwich. Doesn't matter who works at any of these at Disney, because we're focusing on Disney here.
Mm-hmm.
It just make a full sandwich. Just do the best you possibly can. Learn your craft, and if you're really that good at your craft, then do a better job. I don't. Why is this so hard? With I don't get it. Warner Brothers seems to have the same problem, but they have other issues.
Mm-hmm.
So what is the saying? Just do better. But it's
Gotcha.
always everybody else's fault now.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't have anything to do with it. I got fired unfairly. Now, if it is unfairly, then that's one thing. But as you guys know, it usually doesn't go that way. And then other people take other people's jobs, and the hypocrisy just continues.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
And really, honestly, how can she play the gay card in this when Disney only bends over backwards?
Yep.
for the LBGT, ABCDEFG, whatever, MOUSC crowd. It's just.
It goes for any group that just wants to be a narcissist, wants to play the victim card. It's silly. Just don't do that. Just don't. But it doesn't matter. And then when the government gets involved, all hell breaks loose. It's always the same nonsense. But the media, Variety, for example, they're going to take the sides of whoever, and we can go down the list, Baron and Pacific, about how bad the media just light that fuse, man, all the time.
They're ready. They're standing by. They're ready to throw the gasoline
every time. They make things 1,000 times worse because they do not usually want to see both sides. Of it's always one way, it can't be the other. Yeah.
Well, I remember when media used to be our press was who, what, where, when, and why.
Yes.
You don't have that no more.
No.
And I do want to say hello to Midnight Magic Musings. Met him over on Fat Steven's stream.
He crossed over here.
Yes, and I also want to say hello to Apion, who I also met over on Steven's stream.
Apion. Nice. Yes, we did. Hello.
Did we say hi to DJ Ronnie? I can't remember if we did or not.
I said hello to him in the chat. I didn't verbally say hello.
As long as he doesn't pull up a certain video, because if he does, he gets to sit in the corner.
Can I
make sure you never pull up that American-made Sailor Moon video again, DJ Ronnie G.
I'll
find you. No, we're just
let me welcome DJ Ronnie G. Nerd.
Well, if you want to hear a nerd sound bed, Baron, all you had to do was say so.
Oh, yeah.
I've got a couple of them. Yeah, I got a couple of them.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Let me just get one up here. I mean, usually I save it for Nerdtorial, but I could play it for DJ Ronnie G too.
And he's dual. And he's double channeling.
Nerd alert!
Nerd alert! Yeah, he's double channeling. I tell you.
Oh my gosh! He says I might have to. You see that, DJ Ronnie?
No.
Being sneaky.
DJ, you do that, man. You know what's going to happen to you? You know what's going to happen to you, man? You do that again, especially on this channel. I'm going to tell you what's going to happen. I'm going to tell you what's going to happen here real quick.
Uh-oh.
Of course, I say real quick, and I'm still trying to look for the clip.
He's babbling so he can find the clip. You notice that? That's he's making sausage in front of you.
well, of course. I have to delay the game somehow, don't I?
Yeah, definitely. It's like pretending you're about ready to bat, and you step back, and it's like, oh, okay, I see your
time out. Oh, wait a minute, Baron. We can't do that this year. There's a pitch clock in baseball and all this other.
I'm sorry I brought up baseball. I'm sorry.
Well, I'm bringing it up because I'm playing the clip. So.
You're gone.
That's a fun episode of DS9.
See, DJ Ronnie, some days. Someday.
You know what? I think I know where you're going, Cash. I think I know where you're going. DJ Ronnie G.
Do you see what happens, Larry, when you fuck a stranger in the ass?
That's what happens after you see that Sailor Moon clip. That
I want to
find Sailor Moon clip.
Yeah, that was that had psychopath written all over those girls' face. It's like watching a bunch of Joan Benet Ramseys. No, not Joan Benet. No, Lorena Bobbitt's. It's like,
yeah, and Midnight is right about what he said.
Yeah,
the narcissism just keeps getting worse, and when you have social media and they don't take responsibility, we've got different movies. They can be entertaining, but then other ones are like based on a lie, and you're just like, well, that's not even true. about the situation. The Woman Kings. That's right, Viola Davis. We're gonna go in an interview. It's like, you were in Fences. What are you doing lately? She was also in Suicide Squad 2, and she's going to be in that new movie Air, which looks interesting, about the rise of Nike. Huh.
And,
Oh, great. A Nike film. Just what we need.
and to answer
Are
your
they gonna show
question, Apion, about the movie clip.
Okay, sir, you're a Lebowski, I'm a Lebowski. That's terrific.
Well, wait, let me explain something to you. I am not Mr. Lebowski. You're Mr. Lebowski. I'm the dude. So that's what you call me.
He's the dude, man. It's like it's your opinion, man.
You know what? I want to point out ignorance. Look at this ignorance right there. A flat earther. The earth is not flat. It's shaped like a burrito. Get it right.
Here, I thought it was shaped like a hamburger.
Woohoo!
Oh, that'd be good.
Ooh,
Cheesy goodness. Cheeseburger with bacon, maybe?
Well, which country is the bacon? Which part of the earth is the bacon? That's the best part.
America,
Man,
baby.
if you're around somewhere, Paul, you did not need to watch The Big Lebowski the second time to understand the movie. Okay, that's it.
Actually, I want to watch it again because it was fun.
Yeah, because if you guys don't know, Paul on his stream lately he just is like, well, I know this is going to make Pacific and Cash and other people upset. Yeah,
Oh, I'm always
you know what? I'm a cuphead. I'm used to being upset.
yeah. You know, when you get, I follow Bath rugby. I get upset too.
Yeah, on our local news, they talked to Lawrence Fishburne, and they, of course, talked to the other stars of the movie. And this John Wick 4 just... now, am I right about this? Because I've watched the first movie. This is just still all a revenge story. He's out to just kick the crap out of as many people as he can, right? Or does it actually change from that, Mike? You've watched the rest of the ones, but
it changes depending on the story.
okay.
How many dogs have to die for this?
Does that ever happen again? Does animals get killed?
Was it a hamster maybe this time? A gerbil.
I try to explain that to my friend because she's like, I can't watch that after that happened in the first movie. I'm like, it's important to see that because it just starts fueling the fire of Mr. Wick. Yep.
But real quick, speaking of The Big Lebowski, on the 16th, my local theater is going to have a special showing at 4 p.m. for the 25th anniversary. So you know where I'm going to be.
Yeah, why not?
Yeah. He's going to be camping out in front of the theater. He's going to do that.
Camping out. He's going to pull out
Gotta
his
be first in
phone.
line.
Hey, guys. It's been day 2 waiting for this.
It's like day 2, man. And if you don't like this, well, that's like your opinion, man. Wait a minute. It's Saturday. I don't fucking roll on Saturday. And hello to Whoopa Troopa. But anyways, let's talk about John Wick Chapter 4 and its weekend box office numbers. Now, I'm going to say pretty much what I said in my short talking about the movie after I saw it. I highly recommend it. You'll have a lot of fun. The movie goes by fast. And the music's great, too. Good action. Just a great movie. Fun movie.
Sweet.
Music by the Archies. Music done by the Archies. Sugar. Da, 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 da. Oh,
honey. Da, 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 da. All right, I better be careful.
It should be okay.
Yeah, but then I'll get into a whole singing montage, and nobody here wants to hear me sing. I don't want to make anyone's ears bleed.
Oh, they yanked us already. Bye, everybody.
Bye. But we have this article from Deadline that says John Wick Chapter 4, 73 plus million opening franchise record, best for Lionsgate in pandemic era. And let's see. It says John Wick Chapter 4 shows up at 25.8 million. Similar Friday previews to Saturday trajectory of 12%, as did John Wick Chapter 3. That makes for a revised franchise and Lionsgate pandemic record opening of 73.5 million. Worldwide start is also a franchise best, as we always knew it would be, with 137.5 million. The Keanu Reeves movie debuted at number one in each of the 71 markets where the pick opened this weekend. Internationally, the film took in an estimated 64 million overseas, exceeding all pre-release estimates for the film. It says stateside, it's Reeves' second best live action opening after the 91.7 million made by 2003's The Matrix Reloaded, which I actually did see some 20 years ago.
Yeah. Let's see. Weird orgy scene, a cool freeway sequence, and yeah.
Well, you know
And
what
weird
that's
club
like.
rave, weird club rave stuff. It was like, can we just have just the first Matrix the and that's it? Just
That's
stop.
really all we needed.
After you see 2, it's like, okay, some of 2 is okay. And let's be honest, with 3, who was the star of that movie? It was Agent Smith, right?
Mm-hmm.
It had to be Agent Smith. That was the only thing that I think kept me going in that film, because that movie was
Yeah, Hugo Weaving was great as Agent Smith.
absolutely
Good actor. Good actor.
Mm-hmm.
yes. Well, he's also in Lord of the Rings. He had a really good role in that too. So
You got it.
And he may not be the original voice, but he was the voice of a certain Decepticon. This clip I'm playing is, of course, of the OG.
Extinction to all traitors!
yeah, he did a nice job as Megatron in the movies.
But by the way, that's what I do to Cash and Baron whenever they say they're going to hop on another stream.
Oh, by the way, I gotta go. There's a stream in
here forever. No.
So, as it said here, internationally, the film took in an estimated 64 million overseas, exceeding all pre-release estimates for the film. Stateside, it's Reeves' second best behind 2003's Matrix Reloaded, and worldwide, it's likely the actor's second best debut after Matrix Revolutions, 201.4 million global start in 2003. Other bragging points. John Wick joins a select few film series that set a franchise record with their fourth outing, only 9 in the past 40 years. That's interesting. Of those 9 franchises, only 5 have done what John Wick has accomplished in building to 4 films, with each new offering exceeding the last. An example: 4 greater than 3, 3 greater than 2, 2 greater than 1. John Wick Chapter 4 is the biggest R-rated opening post-pandemic, exceeding Halloween Kills, 49.4 million, which was hampered by a theatrical date-to-date release on streaming service Peacock. Goes on to say, to date, John Wick Chapter 4 is the second best domestic opening of 2023, after Disney Marvel Studios' Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania, 106.1 million. Interesting to note that this is supposedly Reeves' swan song in the core franchise. Okay, there's a spoiler for anybody who didn't know. And the fourth cool opened to more than No Time to Die at 55.2 million at the US Canada box office. I still haven't seen No Time to Die, and I don't know if I ever will. Box office analytics firm Intelligence reports that 5 million people went to see the fourth quill this weekend to Quantum Mania's 7 million admissions. Well, I was one of the 5 million that went and saw John Wick Chapter 4, and I want to go see it again.
Ooh. the first movie I think this year you said that about.
That's true. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And well, now we have this little bit of a break in there. Look who has joined us.
Dun, 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 dun.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, exactly. So, do, 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 do.
Oh, wait,
In
wait,
fact,
wait,
go.
wait.
Anonymous. Anonymous. Anonymous.
There we go. I was fast this time.
Yes, you were. Yes, you were.
Is that Cash Money 007? No time to watch this garbage.
No. I didn't like that movie very much. It has some problems. Like Bond becomes more trusting, and Felix becomes more trusting. That really bothered me in that movie. But there was some sweet action sequences, and the movie was overall pretty good, but could have been so much better.
I think one of the things you're gonna like in John Wick Chapter 4, Cash, is the fight choreography.
Yeah. What did you say to us, Wizard Boy Anonymous over there? Huh? Calling us slow.
Hey, we're on a roll. We're on a roll, man.
Yeah,
You're
man.
not that special.
Well, we're having a relaxing edition of Pop Talk. If there's such a thing.
No.
Who knew though Anonymous would be so into Hogwarts Legacy? That's something, man.
Yeah, that is something.
It really
Well,
is.
Has he been a secret Harry Potter fan all this time?
I think he might have been.
Well, I think any game where he can wave his wand around publicly, you think he's very happy about.
But by the way, you should check his Twitter feed. There's something out there that you should look at. It's making me question you, Anonymous.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
It's all right. I know he likes to play with his wand. Wow, that could go so many ways. Yeah.
Oh my.
Oh my.
I just picture Anonymous with the wizard hat, and the wizard is using his wand while he's playing Hogwarts Legacy.
I can see him out there and opens up his robe, like my wand.
While he's secretly singing his song.
Well, that's one of his spells. Do. That's the words.
He's gonna kill us.
Yeah, he is. I may or may not give him the chance to do so on Saturday. I don't know.
Oh my.
Definitely. Oh my.
Yeah.
I'll get into more detail about that near the end of the broadcast.
Oh.
Ooh, ah. Ooh, ee, ooh, ah.
My.
So the article continues to say steady foot traffic through matinees. And yes, there were quite a few people in my auditorium yesterday afternoon. And very rarely does it happen in my area where people actually clap after a film's over, but people actually clapped. But it was worth it. I didn't hear anybody get up and throw what was remaining of their popcorn into the trash can going, this movie effing sucks.
That doesn't usually actually happen in theaters sometimes, but it's rare. I think that there was definitely some people groaning, I should say, in the Birds of Prey. After that movie was over, and I just wanted to scream at the screen. I'm glad I saw that for cheap. I think that was a matinee. That movie just made me want to curse so much cursing. Don't ever go see Birds of Prey. Just read.
I have no intention.
Just read the graphic novels. I think there's a few animated movies too. Watch those instead.
Well, what about South Park? I mean, I think that has the record of having all the F-bombs in there.
Yeah, it probably does.
Yeah,
it probably does.
But I'm not going to read the rest of this article, but it does go on to say that, the afternoon foot traffic was well for John Wick. And of course, the evening foot traffic was what you would expect for an R-rated film. But I will go down here for the chart for the weekend. And as you can see, number one, of course, as we've already found out, was John Wick Chapter 4. And I do want to say hello to Raquel SSG. Welcome,
Hello.
Raquel. How are you doing? And then number 2 was Shazam: Fury of the Gods. Ooh. Oh my. You guys are seeing this, aren't you?
Let me take a look here. I have to get this bigger here. Shazam! Fury of the Gods.
Oh.
Ew.
Oh.
Wow. Ooh, yeah.
Oh, no, that's not good at all.
Yeah.
Very low.
So,
and it's in more theaters than John Wick. Notice that? More theaters.
Yep.
Scream
So I believe we have a couple of gentlemen.
Yep. 6. Is this Scream 6 now? Jeez.
Yeah, Scream 6. But I believe we have a couple of gentlemen who would like to ask Shazam: Fury of the Gods a question.
What would you say you do here?
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Not just them either.
I don't know. It's just I still need to finish the first one, but from what I saw the first one, I was like, well, I just never cared about Shazam, and I was like, this isn't a bad film, but
no, the first one isn't a bad film.
Can we take a break from a lot of superhero movies, or can we come up with some better ideas, or can we tie stuff in that makes sense, that's cool? And I don't know.
Yeah, because only making 9.7 million for this weekend and having a total of 46.3, we might as well just wait and see Shazam: Fury of the Gods when it comes out on streaming service very soon. Because at this rate, it could be on HBO Max by next week.
Yeah. That's not a good sign. Basically, it's not a good sign.
And Scream 6 only made 8.4 million this weekend for a total of 89.9 million. Why don't they just end the Scream franchise?
What doesn't make any sense either is there's obvious. Why don't they ask Warner Brothers, be like, you know what, maybe we should bring Zack Snyder back? They won't, but it seems to me that people who funded the Snyder Cut, however you feel about Zack Schneider,
right,
is that's the direction that they really would like to go in. They would like to go in that direction, not a lot of this other stuff.
Yes. Yeah, and they chose to cancel the Batgirl movie in favor of this.
I want to see it.
Yeah, I want to see if it was the disaster everybody was saying it was.
Yes. Oh, Cash just wants to simple with a star.
I don't know. I don't like that woman. I forgot who it is.
You saw her running. You go, wow.
I did see that. That was horrible.
And he's going, wow, that's a woman.
Yeah, that's what it was. The cheap effects of her run. Oh gosh. Don't you guys understand? This is really good. Is it though?
And yes, Raquel, John Wick 4 is I'd even go beyond pretty good. It's a very good movie. When you like action movies, it's very good.
I hope it makes tons of money and is number one, or at least for a number of weeks. I don't know. Yep.
Oh yeah, I mean,
there's also a certain jackass who's still around Warner Brothers.
I don't know. I don't know.
What are you talking about?
I don't know who he could be talking about. And even Whoopa says here, I love the first Shazam, but why spend 30 million on 30 million? It seems like that, doesn't it? You're spending a fortune just to go to the movies. I mean, $30 on tickets plus popcorn and soda.
I don't know. Even like if we weren't we even supposed to get like a blue beetle? And when you learn about him,
We
in
are
the,
going to get a blue
we
beetle.
are.
Yeah,
Okay.
we are.
Yes.
Yeah, it's part of the plan.
Well, is the plan gonna work? Because Blue Beetle is actually a pretty cool character as we've seen in the animated.
Well. Sorry to interrupt you, Cash, but looky who we have here.
I know. It's a Kraken-akin. Yeah.
Wow. He's
Spinny
here.
Spinny McCrack. I'm gonna start calling him Spinny McCrack. Yes.
Spinning the
You,
crack.
you can tell him to watch his mouth film a cracker, but I've already used my potty mouth a few times, if you want to
No,
put it that
definitely.
way. Because
Oh, I've heard Phil cuss up a storm.
yeah,
me
we all
too.
have. We all have.
He can be a bitch. You heard that, Phil? Spinny McCracken over here.
So that's
Mr.
important.
Caddyshack 2.
Yeah.
Trying to get people to watch Caddyshack 2 of all things. Caddyshack 2. How bad that movie is.
It's
gives people
yeah.
nightmares, Phil. Nightmares.
A special announcement. Oh, go ahead. Yeah,
and you're trying to get a whole family to watch Caddyshack fucking 2. You know?
Yeah, he wants to get Paul excommunicated by his father. That's what he wants to do. And of course, we have the special message for Phil McCracken.
This is Patrick Stewart, and I wish to tell Phil McCracken that I hate him also.
Make it so.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so the rest of the box office numbers for this weekend at number 4, you had Creed 3, and that made $8.36 million for a grand total of $140.88 million. Then you had 65 at number 5, which made $3.25 million for a grand total of $27.8 million. And I'm still going to say what I said after I saw it. It's not going to be a movie for everybody. It depends on your personal preference, what you like in a movie. I like this because it was a combination of Alien with Jurassic Park.
Yeah. People have mixed feelings about it. I think even Tim liked it. If I heard 65, yeah. 65? Yeah.
Yep.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
And Ant-Man and Wasp: Quantumania, more like Quantum Boredom, because unlike previous movies I'd seen up until Endgame, this movie did not have me at the edge of my seat. Like I told you, Baron, that night, I said I was more focused on eating my nachos than anything else.
Nachos are important, man. Nacho man. I want to be a nacho man. Nacho.
Speaking of Nacho Libre, that movie's underrated. Good film.
It's funny.
I've never seen that. I gotta see that sometime.
Very politically incorrect too, especially when that woman. I won't spoil anything.
Yeah, don't. Because I'm not a big Jack Black fan, so I never really thought about seeing it. But maybe I should see that.
There's movies you definitely should see with Jack Black. I haven't watched the remakes of the. I don't even remember what the hell it's called. I forgot about it already.
Well, that's a hearty endorsement there. Thanks a lot, Cash.
I know. The one that Robin Williams was in, and then they did some remakes of.
Oh.
I can't think.
Professor?
No. It was the Jumanji.
Oh, Jumanji. Okay, Jumanji.
I haven't watched those remakes.
I've only seen the first film.
Yeah,
and Phil, why are you calling Cash a racist? I mean, you're the one that comes on here on the 4th of July and says you hate everybody, you hate all countries.
Yeah, Jumanji. Yeah,
of course, Phil does hate everybody. Just so anyone who's new here, just know he might be nice to you for a little bit, but just know he secretly hates you all, including us.
Yeah, he just uses it to worm his way in, and then he's like that.
Yeah, I agree with Midnight. Nacho is greater than bad movies. When was the last time we had a bad movie that you want to see again? Like, it's so bad, let's watch it again.
Oh, Star Trek 5? I don't know.
Yeah. Oh, God. Row your boat. Yeah.
Oh, God.
Now, about
What about
because it's
Blood
there.
Rain?
I don't think I've ever seen that one.
I've never watched that. I only remember the trailer, and Uwe Boll did that, right? Yeah, oh boy.
Yeah.
Uwe Boll.
But yeah, Ant-Man and Wasp, 2.42 million for a total of 209.8 million. Then you had Cocaine Bear, which made 2.9 million. And it has a grand total of 62.1 million, which is good for that film because it didn't cost a lot to make.
Yeah. Except for all the cocaine,
Well, but that's when Hollywood could create.
Cocaine,
Remember?
do. I learned that song on guitar. That's a good one. She don't lie. She don't lie. All right, I'll stop.
You don't lie. Well, I mean, I love the scene in that movie where he was doing snorting coke off of the black bear's ass in the bathroom. I brought the house down there. I love it.
Yeah, because I'm thinking about that scene again.
So, does poop stick to your fur?
What is that? Phil McCracken has anonymous derangement syndrome. Yeah, so that would be AMDS.
Yeah. We all live in his head rent free.
I was going to say, Phil McCracken has a long list of our names because he's like Steve Buscemi's character.
Yeah,
in that one Adam Sandler movie.
I can't wait until you tell him about that the Phil McCracken encounter you had when you left the theater the other day. So.
Oh yeah. Speaking of Phil McCracken, some jerk off from Delaware cut me off on my way home yesterday. Was it you, Phil?
I think it was. He was probably laughing the whole time. It was worth paying $5 a gallon gasoline to come down here and do that to him. Now I gotta find Phil.
Oh look, that looks like Pacific. I'm gonna cut him off.
Dang, was that you? Was that you, Phil Spinny McCracken? Was that you? All right.
Anonymous, I can see through your windows. Anonymous, call the cops.
Watch out, he might be doing a Pee Wee Herman while doing that.
You never know.
Oh,
I know you, but what am I? Huh?
Yeah, he's crossing off the list. Yeah, like Steve Buscemi.
Yeah,
he puts lipstick on it. It's just so I don't think they would ever do that again in a movie. It's just so ridiculous. I love it.
Okay, everybody. We have the evidence.
I knew
There
it.
we go. I'm going to Twitter right now. Go to Twitter right. Call him out.
Yeah, I'm going to call him out on Twitter right now. That seems like the place to go, right?
Yeah.
Anytime you have a problem, instead of actually discussing it with the person, you call them out on Twitter, right?
You got it. That's our legal system now, and Elon is now kind of the Supreme Court of the whole thing. So.
Yeah, I guess Twitter's okay, sort of, maybe. I don't know. Let's be honest; it's still mostly a dumpster fire.
Yeah, it's not going to change. And
no.
The other movies in the top 10 list for this weekend were Jesus Revolution. It made $2 million over the weekend for excuse me, a total of allergies. A total of $49 million.
Which
all
is
the
good
Dame
for that
Paul
film.
in this. Yeah.
Okay.
All the Dame Paul in this time of year.
And Appion is talking about Billy Madison again. That question wasn't fair. Take it easy, psycho. There's so many. They won't say stuff like that anymore. That's offensive. You can't have those kind of words in a movie.
And Jesus Revolution, that right there for the price that movie was made, that's good. That's a good return investment. Again, it's not the big blockbuster; it's whether you're making money.
Oh, and I'm going to tell you this: there's a trailer for Seth Rogen produced movie coming out
Oh, God help us
later
all.
on this year in July called Joyride, and that looks dumb as hell.
If he would just go back to stuff like Knocked Up that he was in, but of course Apatow did that film. So
If you just go back home and just continue smoking pot in his parents' basement, that'd be great.
he was fine just recently in The Fablemans. He actually had a quality role in that. Now, obviously, I don't think he was producer or anything, but just Rogan, what are you doing, man? Like, what are you doing? Yeah.
Well, it's one of those things where he's got to be on a leash.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If I don't know if I guess he would show up to some panels, but if you went to like a convention and he was there, it's like, dude, you can't look me in the eye and tell me that Santa Inc. was a good idea. Do you know how insulting that was to not only Santa Claus, but Christmas in general?
You think you're tortured here on Pop Talk. When I heard that you watched Santa Inc., you sounded like you'd been through misery.
That was horrible.
You sounded like you were put through the misery that Kathy Bates put James Caan through in Misery. You were James Caan, and a certain Orca boy was Kathy Bates.
Yes. Dang Orca boy.
Well, the thing is if you ask them that question, expect to have like a 30-minute rant about how, blah, blah, blah with him, because he was doing that even afterwards about all the intolerant people and this and that and all these haters and such. It's like, no, you're the one that was hating.
Yeah.
You're going out with the express interest to be insulting. And,
you went out to be insulting. Yes, you could have made it funny. We've seen, even when we saw Robot Santa in Futurama, that was hilarious. But that show, just like I feel like, of course, Velma and some of the stuff, they're just going out of their way to insult people. And they want them to say, oh, I don't like this. Yeah, I knew it. See, you're this kind of person. It's so just stupid.
They probably think they're the next wave of Don Rickles, and they just don't understand how Don Rickles was.
Yeah, exactly.
There was only one Don Rickles, and unfortunately, he's not here with us anymore.
No. I mean, my dad, my former wife, never liked him. My grandfather never. I love Don Rickles. So.
He's hilarious. Even Denzel loved the man. It's just he was laughing up a storm. It's hilarious, dude.
Yeah.
Yes.
He went after everybody, and it was funny.
And I do want to say hello to Lord Thoth. Good to see you, Lord Thoth.
Oh, there he is.
Hello, Lord. Nice to see you.
And at number 9 for this weekend, it was Champions. I'm not really familiar with that movie, but it made $1.54 million for a total of $13.5 million. And then, of course, you had Avatar: The Way of Lord Crit, which made $1.4 million to add to its total of $680.4 million
on week 15.
Let's see. Yeah, that's probably going to stay still in the top 10 for a while. And knowing how much of an egomaniac Cameron is, he'll just bring him back at some point again. Hey guys, go see Avatar 2 again, man, in 3D. Let's go.
I added 3 more seconds in there. You got to go see it. 3 more seconds.
Exactly. Yeah.
I added somebody waving to the camera into the movie. You got to go see it now.
Yep. Find out who that person is. Yeah. It's pivotal. It's pivotal.
I don't know. Avatar 2. See it in 3D if you're going to see it. Some people saw in 2D, 3D, but see it in 3D. Understand that movie has problems, but there's some good stuff in it. I can say there's some good stuff.
I got a new story. I got a new story.
You do.
You
do.
Yes. I got a new story. I don't know if you know what it is. I made sure I picked the right one. Are you sure?
Yes.
Here we go.
Oh no.
Is that the one? Oh. I made sure I found one that was here we go. This is from
She said recently she's not really going to have much of a job, and I'm like, don't you have a job with Nissan? Shut up.
No,
That's still a job. Doing commercials is still a job, but I guess in the movie business, after Marvels and Fast 10 and whatever, she's not going to have a job in the whatever. That was an article. It's funny.
Yeah. Well, the thing is you can make more money doing commercials than you can making films or
can.
TV shows. Yeah.
Yes, you can.
So this comes from Yahoo News on their Cosmopolitan section, written by Corin Miller, who's a horn dog. This is a 1-minute read. Let's see how long we can drag this one out. Brie Larson rocks a nipple-bearing top and new photos. Ooh, you know your career is gone to shit if this is an actual news story. Brie Larson is on the cover of Harper's Bazaar, or should we say Bizarre, and she just did the coolest photo shoot that aced the laid-back chick look. Boy, God, this is like soy boy. Oh God, I can see the mouth open and the Wesley Crusher look with the mouth open. The 33.
What the hell you say?
Exactly. The 33-year-old actress dropped several photos from the spread on Instacrap, and they show just how fit Captain Marble is looking these days. There's Brie in a semi-sheer top with the free the nipple moment and impressively toned arms. Ooh! Brie flashed her six-pack abs with some underboob. Oh my word! And a slouchy suit. Brie in a Yale sweatshirt over leggings, and Brie working on skin-tight black bodysuit under slouchy jeans. How much you want to bet that this guy's keyboard was very sticky after he was done writing?
I don't want to know.
Very interesting, but stupid.
Thank you, Harper's Bazaar Us, for embracing me where I am at. I love dancing with you, she wrote in the caption. As you can expect, people went nuts for it in the comments. Yeah, they were nuts. Goddess, 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 said one. While another wrote, I forgot how to breathe. Even Naomi Watts chimed, damn. And there's a face that launched 1,000 ships the other direction. And that's clean, so we won't get nicked on it, but you can kind of see this is what they're all going crazy over. You know why? This takes people's eyes off the fat feet and flat ass. It's like for a small moment, you're not thinking about those big, huge mutant feet and that flat butt. Now you're looking, it's like these toy boys, bubbies.
I don't know. I don't know, and it might be rude and stuff, but really, how many women, even in Hollywood now? Yes, there's a few, but they're older ones. Like Helen Mirren has as an older woman, still looks good, obviously, but Kate Beckinsale still looks good for her age. There's a few, but a lot of these people. Remember, Emma Watson used to be an attractive woman. Then I'm sorry, but not sorry. She got a pixie cut. She's like Bones now. I don't know if you guys saw a recent picture. She's like Bones. I'm like, that's not healthy. And we should not promote that ever for anybody, men or women or whatever. Don't promote that.
Right.
No.
No arts Brie.
And here's the theme, Baron. I was almost going to select an article I'd seen talking about Brie Larson, but I wasn't going to push the channel or the viewers or the chat, but
I had to because first of all, what would you expect from Yahoo News? What a
they are a mess, dude. They are very biased, and oh gosh, dude, you read those articles and you just and the comments in there can be funny. They embarrass themselves a lot. I do like their mail system, though.
Well, I mean, and this is coming from people that say, "Don't look at us as an object," but here's my boobies.
But that's the hypocrisy or whatever. Again, it's every time. So
don't sexualize me. Don't sexualize. Why aren't you looking at me? I'm not supposed to. Look at me, but don't sexualize me. Look, you can see my nipples and look at my abs with the underboob. And look at my huge, giant feet.
Yep.
Bree, nobody wants to look at your huge giant feet anymore.
Well, I'm sure there's the foot fetish people. I'm sure there's a lot of foot fetish people.
Reminds me of that King of the Hill episode.
Yeah, Peggy. Having pictures taken of her feet.
Oh, Peggy, I can't believe you did that. I know that's a bad Hank Hill impression. That's the best I got.
Well, now we know a role she can play if they do a live action King of the Hill. She can be Peggy. Peggy standing for the feet. There we go.
Yeah, I mean, if we spent like a week just making fun of Brie Larson, I can guarantee you, even though people don't know us on there on Twitter, a lot of people, they would, the mobs, we'll say the mobs would probably be on our ass just like they were with other YouTubers making fun of Brie Larson. But
how dare
not that
you
important.
criticize
Exactly.
our idol? We worship her like she's the greatest. And who else do you worship? Jennifer Lawrence?
I don't know. The thing is with certain films and stuff like Fast 10, she can't ruin that movie, but I just wish she's not going to be in it. She just can't ruin it. And Cardi B's going to be in that movie too, and she had a small role. I'm like, what are they going to give her a bigger role?
Why not?
Yeah, why not?
Yeah, wait until Liz will start showing up and stuff.
So, going on to another article that Cash. This time, Cash brought it to my attention, and I thought, okay, you want to talk about it? We can talk about it on Pop Talk, because I do have a few things that I want to say about it myself.
Mm-hmm.
It's this article from Entertainment Weekly that says Christina Applegate slams Candace Owens' effing gross criticism of wheelchair model in underwear ad. Applegate, who has multiple sclerosis, responded after Owens shared distaste for Kim Kardashian's Skims company after the brand used a model in a wheelchair in a campaign.
This is first I heard all this.
Mm-hmm.
Dead to Me actress Christina Applegate has spoken out against conservative pundit Candace Owens' resurfaced criticism of Kim Kardashian's Skims clothing line after the brand included a model in a wheelchair in 2022 and a 2022 ad campaign touting products adapted for people with disabilities. It goes on to say after a clip from Owens' Daily Wire talk series made the rounds on social media earlier this week, Applegate, who announced her multiple sclerosis diagnosis in 2021, hit back at the commentator's words. Yes, late tweet, but woke to see the most horrifying thing. This Candace person making comments about companies who see we need help. It's effing gross. Well, I can speak as someone who was born with a physical disability, and I don't want to become a Chet Mart. I don't want to be patronized. I don't want to be displayed as a prop piece.
As someone with a mental disability, same here.
She continued, Candace Owens, do you know when you have seen pictures of me, how effing hard it was to get my clothes on? A team has to help me. So I'm excited for accessibility clothing for me and my community. And I'm going to make this perfectly clear. I understand there are people who do need assistance getting dressed and doing the basic task. I understand that. Mm-hmm. But like I said, I don't think people with disabilities of any kind should be used as a prop just to make a company look good. No, the company should do it because they know it's the right thing, not because it'll gain them good publicity. Or guess what? We checked this box. Are we good now? Are we good?
Yeah, I think I actually made a comment on this article. I'm sure it's being downvoted a lot.
Well, I'm sure it is, like most of yours.
No, not most of them, but some of them, yes.
These people.
And the article continues by saying, after sending the first two messages, Applegate followed up with another message. If Candace wants to go to get on the phone with me, to be educated on being disabled, I will not come with anger. I will come with love because she needs to hear that. I pray for her tonight. All right. Again, I understand Christina Applegate's, current situation with multiple sclerosis. But and yes, I am going to say this, it pales in comparison with anyone who's dealt with it since the day they were born, like I and so many others have. Being born with cerebral palsy and living with it for 44. Next Saturday, it will be 45 years. Yeah. Call me when you walked in my shoes and put up the shit I've had to put up with and been called the names that I've had to be called throughout my childhood, into my teens, and into my adulthood because people do not want to listen, do not want to learn. You really think Candace Owens cares? She doesn't care. Neither does Kim Kardashian's company. They don't care. They're just doing it so they can prop themselves up and try to make themselves look like they're some sort of god or some sort of martyr.
Well, I think
this bullshit.
It's bullshit. It can be bullshit, but it's also just, it doesn't matter if you like Candace Owens or not. It's just in this situation, she's just pointing out the hypocrisy. Why are we using people as props? Just treat people the way somebody else wants to be treated. It's just really that simple. And so I can't, I don't know. Christina doesn't need to. She's just pointing out, it's the same thing with Harry Styles and the whole thing about we need to have masculine men in a healthy society, or to have a healthy society. Excuse me. That's true. But once again, I always point the same thing out. You don't have to like Candace Owens, or you do like her or whatever, but she's just pointing out, why are we putting people doing this to people? Because they don't care. It's the company. Candace is not part of the company. This is Kardashian or whatever. So it's a mess. It's always a mess. Just treat people with respect. Do people want to see ads where people are in wheelchair? Are you actually guys going to care about somebody who has a disability? Are you going to actually raise money for them? Are you going to find a right charity to actually help these people? Or are you just going to put them there and say, look, we care? And I think that's what she's getting at, Mike.
I understand that, but I'm also speaking from a story of personal experience.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Coming home from school one day where you had Jehovah's Witnesses at the front door talking to my mom, and my mom basically told them to leave. I'm not going to say exactly what my mom said. But the next day, they come back with someone in a wheelchair because they saw me. You think that gained them any more sympathy?
God. Oh my word. Oh God. That's horrible. That's horrible.
And then it got even worse. My dad came home.
Oh no. Da 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 ba da 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 da.
My dad didn't say anything. He just looked at them.
Was he in uniform?
Yes, he was still in the uniform.
Oh, that's the film I want to see in Heaven's video store.
Yes, we're.
And my mom said to them, "You can leave now."
Yeah.
They must have been rude for sure.
They were.
Mm.
Because my mom was one of the nicest ladies you could have ever known. She was very good-natured and very caring, very empathetic to a lot of people. Not because she was a nurse, because of who she was.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
It helps being a nurse having that, you know?
Yeah. But that day, that was the final straw. She's like,
You saw Nurse Ratchet come out.
It's just like the Kardashians or other people. They're like, "Oh, we understand what you're going through." No, you don't.
No.
Until you actually experience yourself, then you'll know. Just like I don't know what you're going through, but it's the same thing with the government. It's the same thing with other stuff. And I think as I said, I don't always agree with Candace, but she just likes to point out the hypocrisy of all of this.
Well, I noticed they avoided what she said, and they're just
of course,
they
did. Of course,
Yeah.
it's entertainment googly. So yes.
So it's like, well, what's the context here? What's all going
Right.
on? I mean, if we're just going to go on one side, I can see how you're spinning it, how that'd be bad. But how is this all across the board, and why is this a thing?
Exactly.
And again, it's pandering. Obviously, there's a lot of pandering going on. Companies love the pandering. A company, folks, people who are listening, companies don't give a shit about you.
No,
they really don't.
No,
sometimes
they
may. Sometimes even the video game industry, for example, sometimes they care, other times they don't, and they're usually it's a dumpster fire. But sometimes they actually do care and say we're going to listen to the fans and we're going to give them what they want. Nintendo can do it, Sony can do it, for example, Microsoft can do it, other companies. But once they make a mistake, and I've always said this, as much as you love a company, you have every right to criticize them.
Right.
Yep.
And the thing is even then, still, the company is still a soulless entity.
Right.
All they care about is green.
Right.
But how can they get that green? Oh, we'll just pander. Oh, we're going to pander this whole month. We're going to pander for this. Okay, we're going to bring all the rainbow stuff out and then toss everything aside once that month is over because, we already used these people and now we're going to use these people.
Yes.
It's just, and that's exactly what it is. It's like, for them, it's these people. It literally is.
Yes.
These,
did you hear what Baron just said, Mike?
Yeah. Yes, I did. And for anybody who knows,
start his count.
well, I want to let some of the new people know that, Cash has, been with us. We've known each other for over a year, almost 2 years now.
About a week.
A week.
Very, very funny, Baron. Very funny. But we make fun of it because he's always talking about these people on Twitter, these people, and it's like,
yes.
Cash, is it really that bad, or are you just looking for something? Are you looking for a fight?
No, I haven't been. I usually don't fight with people on Twitter. That's a fact.
As that one blood vessel kind of popping out of the skull a little bit there.
No, it's not. You guys know on social media, it's not good to probably get in arguments with random people because it goes nowhere usually.
Pigeons and chess. Remember that. Pigeons and chess.
Yeah,
exactly. And again, as someone born with a physical disability, I mean, I've even had it where I've been at workplaces where I've had associates or even managers say, "Should he be doing that?" And I have said to him, "Why don't you mind your business, do what you were told to do, and I'll go ahead and lift this heavy equipment because I can do it."
I say the same thing. Should Mike be doing this just before he hits the button to start the show? Should he be doing this?
Oh my gosh, Phil Spinny McCracken's at it again.
Oh no!
Cash Money loves to fight and use his. Yeah, right. Okay, Phil.
Yep.
Phil, go take a nap. You need one.
Phil, I told you, man, don't take those purple pills anymore, dude. Come on. I told you.
I told him to stop taking the green ones.
The trouble is Phil popped a couple of the blue ones, and his girlfriend left for the day.
Oh, man.
So this article goes on to say Owens called Skim's adaptive campaign an example of societal. I can't even say it right, so I'm not even going to say it. Just it's ridiculous. It's ridiculous.
Bullshit. There you go.
Yeah.
When it comes to inclusion of different body types, I don't really understand how far we're going to take this inclusivity thing. I really don't get it. I don't know if I'm wrong again. Educate me today. I just want to be educated in the comments, she said in the clip below. Why did they do this? I don't know. I don't know why this needs to be done. I'm getting tired of all this all inclusive. Yeah, you all know what I mean.
Mm-hmm. It's kind of different. Yeah.
This pandering, this
Yes.
let's act like we give a
Yes.
shit, and we don't give a
Yes.
shit, like you said, Bear.
She has a lot of people that do listen to her, and that's why, of course, Entertainment Weekly, they do not like is you can even find out in the comments because people will attack you, which is funny, but they don't like anybody who's a conservative. Not in this. They are very they can be very biased. They can be very easy to make fun of. There are some good articles, I will say, on Entertainment Weekly. Some, not many, but some. They just, people are just getting tired of it because you're not really getting to the problem. And aren't we all supposed to treat people with respect and not make somebody better than somebody else? Or, oh, I'm here for you, I'm going to do this. Bullshit.
It's like having people in my life saying, "Yeah, I protected you." No, I had to protect myself. Thank you.
Hey, Mike, I'm your ally. Just want to let you know that.
Yeah, really?
That bullshit.
Really?
Yeah, that bullshit. Don't you love that bullshit?
Really? Does your heart bleed like that of a warrior? Because
No.
when I say this to you, are you ready to join me in glorious battle?
He said, "Today is a good day to die."
It is. The sun's out, the birds are chirping. Yeah, it's a good day. Yeah.
Does your heart pump with the blood of a Klingon? Are you willing to sing songs of your deeds?
Mm-hmm.
Or are you just a Romulan Patak?
The other question is if this isn't pandering, which of course it is, then tell us how this is helping the person. What are you doing? Oh, we're putting them front and center, and we're showing that we do care about them, and we're showing that they deserve attention too. It's all bullshit. How can it not?
Well, I remember back not so long ago, but I remember Rush Limbaugh got heat because Michael J. Fox went to Congress and he purposely did not take his pills for his Parkinson, so he could be for the sympathy ploy, and he was called out. The thing is Rush called that out. He was called all these names, but the thing is, was he lying? No, he didn't lie.
Right.
Michael J. Fox even admitted that he did that. I love that. Canadian coming down telling us how to do our health.
Yeah, and I have a lot of respect for Michael J. Fox, but it's like
too.
If we can't, even people that we actually respect in a lot of movies they've been in, and we feel sorry, we really legitimately do, even if people don't think the type of people we are or whatever, that we're in some other mob or whatever, we do care about other people like Michael J. Fox. But
yeah,
if you're going to do that stuff, you can't sit there and say you don't deserve to be criticized.
Right.
It's just,
yeah, especially when a lot of these people don't know what's going on in our lives and who we have in our lives that might be having struggles of one sort or another. Well, actually, we all have struggles.
Yeah,
everybody's got struggles.
Let's get a lot of these different Hollywood people in here, Viola Davis and stuff. It's like you sit there and you want to run about these causes, and then you're going to tell us that you don't think white people have problems or white people can't be oppressed. It doesn't work that way. It doesn't. What are you talking about? You're just making yourself look like a fool. Oh, I called a black woman a fool. Oh, I'm a horrible person. I'm just pointing out your hypocrisy. Why don't you?
You are a horrible person, but not for that.
Yeah, I know, right?
I'm a horrible person too. I mean, But that's just just like Lorenzo's saying. I like Michael J. Fox too.
Yeah.
I mean, he's one of those likable actors, and it hurts you to see that he's suffering from this disease. But still, that was a bit of pandering.
Yes.
That was pandering. Let's have this example. It's like Phil McCracken is going to go to Congress to talk about mental health issues, not taking his pills and chasing congressmen with a chainsaw around the house. I mean. I'd love to see that. I'd pay money for that. But.
I mean, I'm not saying that I never had, PE teachers who wanted me to take it easy during class.
Sure.
I did. But when they saw what I was capable of doing, they said, all right, we're not going to hold the leash so tight on you anymore. It's like when we would have to run the mile. I would run it, and the fastest time I was able to run it was in 11 minutes, 38 seconds.
So Mike, did the teacher pull you aside and ask, is it okay if we say that you run like a girl?
Fuck you.
Wow, Baron.
I did. I ran like that. I ran like that actress in that Batwoman film or Batgirl film.
Wow, that escalated quickly. It really did.
Yes. I'm surprised neither one of us played the clip, Baron. I mean,
I wasn't even thinking about it. It was Cash that thought of it.
all right. Too many damn clips.
I know.
Boy, that escalated quickly. I mean, that really got out of hand fast.
No, it's just a normal day, normal night on Pop Talk.
So am I fired yet?
Hey, Anonymous, you want a position?
You think he's going to be any better?
Perhaps not. Perhaps. So the article goes on to say the model in the campaign Owen spoke out against Haley Rosa recently told Forbes how she felt about the conservative personality sentiment. Well, of course, they always want to say, oh, this person's on this side of the aisle. This person's on that side.
If this was Seneca or whatever the hell his name is from the Young Thugs, would they keep on saying liberal?
No, of course, but Entertainment Weekly is just, I mean, this is the publication or news outlet or whatever you want to call entertainment outlet that wrote that. Somebody wrote about that snowman dying and how traumatizing it was for a child. People were like, what in the
what snowman dying?
In Frozen 2.
Oh, Anonymous, tell me what 540 Studios is paying you and I'll double it.
Yeah.
All right.
Sometimes I think we have far too much fun doing this.
We have to have fun. If we just
we'll lose our mind
straight at it. Exactly. And that's what Pop Talk's about, having fun.
Yes, it is.
So this quote from Haley Rosa says, after getting injured, I remember not seeing anyone like me in campaigns. At the same time, I was relearning simple tasks like clothing myself. It would have been so helpful to see someone in a wheelchair. I'm so happy that we're finally coming around. Why do you want to become a checkbox? Why do you want to become something that people take sympathy toward instead of having your own strength, your own power of the individual person that you are? Make them see beyond the wheelchair.
Well, yeah, because this is like two-faced thing. Don't judge me for my disability, but please recognize my disability.
Right.
But don't recognize me for my disability, but please, recognize me. I mean, make up your mind. I mean,
I know.
There's a lot of people. I would say the majority of the people who have had unfortunate accidents, birth defects, whatever, right, in their life. Whether it's physical or like blind or deaf or any of that. The majority of them don't want this checkbox.
No. It was like 2 years ago. Sega was having July Disability Month. I don't want a fucking month. I just want to go about my business.
Right.
Well, I thought that was for people who played on easy
mode. Yes. That would be Paul.
No easy mode here on this channel.
That's right. None of that easy mode crap. You hear that, Paul? Yeah, that's right.
Well, he was here, but I think he ran away. But no, I mean, a lot of people who are in that situation, either they've lived with it so long, it's natural, right?
Yes.
And for them, it is natural. I mean, that sounds odd to say that, someone would think being blind is natural. Well, if they were born blind, what else do they have to go off of?
And is this person just being on display, or do they actually get to talk and say, yeah, I've been like this all my life, but, I want to tell you guys, you can always do more. The question is always, can people do more? And the answer is always yes. Everyone can. But with games and accessibility and that they now give awards for, it's like, is that just more pandering? I don't remember a lot of people that are in wheelchairs or disabled had ever come out to different companies and said, you know what? This game needs to be designed for me.
I need you to represent me.
Right.
No. But the thing is the me is more than just that. The me is far. And that comes right down to it. It's like you identify things in a hero or even a villain for that matter, right?
Yep.
But they're not you. But it's like you can understand. That's where they're hitting things that you can identify with elements of. But Lord knows, I don't want a hero or a villain for that. Well, maybe a villain out there that I can sit back and say, that's me. Yeah. I identify with that. No. But you can understand certain elements because that's what gets you drawn into the character.
Yes. And yes, exactly. And when it comes to being like a hero, you want to help somebody. If somebody looks like they need help, then you probably should help them. Even if somebody's in a wheelchair and you can just tell they're struggling, it's like, do you want me to help you? You're not trying to be patronizing to the person. You're just saying, can I actually help you?
Right. It's even simple things of holding the door open for anybody. Man, woman, child, dog, I don't care. Martian.
I've been holding doors open for people ever since I was younger, and I'll still do it till the day I die.
Right.
But have you helped little old ladies across the street?
Yes, I've helped little old ladies across the street. I've helped little old ladies load stuff into their cars.
Yeah. But
There's
a lot
this
of people
lady that I helped. Well, I can't go in that story.
A number of people though do not want to see the hypocrisy that so many of these companies are doing, and that's why people like Owens and other people are pointing out the hypocrisy. Stop turning these people into some kind of prop, to make yourself look good. What else is it?
Well, the only thing I'll sit back and say, the only people who are truly props are actors and actresses. They're moving, talking props.
Exactly.
They're an element in there. It should not be them. It's their role. They're playing a prop.
Yeah.
And, those are the only props out there. Really, actors and actresses. Exactly. I suppose you can even say politicians, since they're basically all they are bad actors and actresses.
Yep. Do they learn nothing from stuff like The Ringer, where it even says in the movie, people tell us that we can't do things all the time.
Mm-hmm.
Where are those messages in movies now? But whatever,
Well, those feel-good films like Rudy and stuff like that.
Yes.
Right. I mean, here you're talking about someone who isn't handicapped or anything like that, but yet he's just too small for the team. And look, he managed to make it to being part of the Fighting Irish.
Yes.
I mean, this is what it's all about, and anybody can identify with that, even though you're not into football. Right. You can understand the struggle.
Yes.
I was told I can't do this. I know I can. Just give me a chance.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Yes, exactly.
Like war games. Matthew Broderick knew he could destroy the world in that
Yes.
game, and they were giving him a chance to it, but then he chickened out at the end, bastard.
I mean, growing up in PE class, I would always have kids come up to me and say, "I'll run for you. I can run for myself. Thank you."
Oh, I'm sure, and they were probably just trying to help, So,
and these are the
some of them.
that...
Some of them were. Some of them were.
Mm-hmm.
Not gonna paint all of them like villains because some of them were. Some of them were my true friends who just wanted to help, and I said, "No, I can do it."
But we also need, in society in general, in the world for sure, but definitely here in America, other places, the message should be you can always be better. You can always do better. And whatever disability you have, whatever is going on, because everybody has something. Some people like to hide it more than others, and I understand that. But we just want to feel as normal as possible, whatever that is. I just really believe that a lot of people just want to feel as normal as possible. And we need better messages out there, and even from our own fucking government. We need better messages to give people more hope every week. It would be good, but it won't unfortunately happen.
Well, false hope.
Yeah, false hope, right?
False hope and lies. I mean,
yeah.
Just like Hollywood, false hope and lies.
Yes.
And
oh, sorry.
I was just gonna read the rest of the article real quick. And it continues by saying that Rosa said, "I'm so happy that we're finally coming around. Seeing someone like you matters. Representation matters," she told the publication. "It's so often assumed that the disability community should be felt bad for. I don't want any pity or sympathy. I don't want someone patronizing me."
Well, you do because you have to put up with us. That's the only thing you want pity for. Other than that, no, you don't want anything else.
Wait, I thought you guys wanted the pity and sympathy because you got to put up with me.
No, Baron just needs a lot of attention. He just
I do
tells us he doesn't.
I need a lot of attention. I just need it, man. You just don't understand the pain. Where's my representation?
The people I know that have disabilities are some of the most resilient people. No shit. Wheelchair users will not agree with Owen's views. If Owens truly wants to educate herself, she can reach out to me. I'm not one for cancel culture. I believe in the power of education. I'd love to have a conversation and educate Candace. Oh, I bet you would.
Oh, I love that. Educate. And then, of course, you're lumping all wheelchair people.
Right.
How much you want to bet that that's not... it's like most of them sit back and say, just shut the fuck up.
Mm-hmm. And it continues by saying, in a follow-up video shared Wednesday, Owens, who also came under fire in 2022 for wearing a White Lives Matter shirt alongside Kanye West at a fashion show, addressed blowback over her earlier comments. And she said, "Let's debunk the idea that I'm an ableist." I thought that was really, really interesting, that I somehow wanted to pursue disabled people and somehow wanted them out of spaces. That is absolute nonsense, she said. "I've spent my entire life fighting the idea that in order for me to feel like I'm allowed to be black or that I'm allowed to be a woman, I need to therefore see black women everywhere. That is the opposite of what it means to actually have confidence. I don't need to see Tyra Banks being a model. I don't need to see Tyra Banks wearing underwear."
Yeah, I don't see anything wrong with that statement at all.
No.
But I can tell you, and the reason that my comment got would be voted down is because I'm telling everybody in this article that you can't sit there and think Hollywood isn't full of hypocrisy, because it is. And it doesn't matter if you like Owens or not. It's all this is pandering. What else is it? But people hate that now. Oh, you're saying it's it is.
Yeah.
Of course it's pandering. Yeah. Yeah, so people get into big, huge arguments.
Yeah.
Right.
That always happens anymore in the comment section.
It does, yes.
Yeah, and the thing is, again, they go one-sided on that. They usually only take the one
Always.
side.
Always.
And and I do feel sorry for Christina Applegate. I honestly do.
Absolutely.
I mean, it's sad what she's going through. It really, really is.
Yeah.
But honestly, this story should have had both sides. It should have had what Candace Owen really wrote or said, and let us decide. But then again, we can't do that. We're not smart enough. We're not. They have.
We
to
don't
do this
educate
for us.
ourselves. We can't see it right in front of our face, right?
They have to educate us. Yes.
Yeah,
their job is to educate.
Always. And whenever you say, I'll educate you, it's like, are you actually going to educate me or are you going to lecture me?
There you go.
It's going to be a lecture.
Yeah. Yep. Anytime anyone says, I'm going to educate you, it's a lecture. It's not even a two-way conversation, which it should be.
Right.
It should be a conversation.
It should. And we sometimes see that. Sometimes. But it's very rare.
Yeah.
And yes, I would love to see a video of Candace Owens and Christina Applegate coming to some kind of conclusion. But the way she talks, it's, let me tell you. And it's like, why would Candace want to go on a show like that?
Well, yeah,
or anybody for that matter.
Well, I mean, remember back when Rosie O'Donnell waddled out there, sat down, had Tom Selleck come on her show, and then she basically attacked him for Second Amendment rights. When that wasn't what the thing was, nothing was discussed about it. It was like he was there to promote something and this, and she goes in for the attack. Let's blindside Tom Selleck. Probably one of the nicest guys in Hollywood, by the way.
Yeah, well, they tried to make him look like he was stealing water a few years ago, too.
Yeah,
that was pretty much a nothing.
Yeah, it was. I mean, let's go attack this guy for because we don't like him for his stance on stuff. He reads National Review. Oh my God.
Yep. It's the same. It's crazy. Like we're just trying to what a healthy conversation is. We're trying to make people think. So you ask the question, what if they did something better? What if we did something better? But for some reason, we decided in a lot of the government, other people, especially whoever usually is in government, that facts and logic are evil. So we got to go after those people because they're actually thinking for themselves. We can't have that.
Well, it's too much emotion. We have to live off of emotion. Exactly. And the thing is, no, you need to balance out emotion in that cold logic. You can't be 100% cold logic because then you lose humanity. But if you go full emotion, again, you lose humanity and you start going into basically base animal. It's like something says something wrong and you're after him like a Tasmanian devil.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Or if you go cold logic, it's like you just don't care. It's like, well, that's that's meant to be. So it's just.
Oh, you did hear about this, Mike.
Yes.
Well, before we get into
Baron. Go ahead.
I wanted to ask Cash, what story did you think I was going to put up?
I don't know, man.
Oh, okay. You said you knew.
That threw me. I thought you were actually going to put the Christina Applegate story before me.
And you know what? I know I'm speaking for myself on that particular issue, but I don't want to be pandered to. I don't want to be put on display for other people's amusement.
No, nobody would.
That's what YouTube is for.
Yeah, right. But Anonymous is telling me about my struggle, so
Your struggle?
What? He puts up with Barrett and
I know.
He seems to be okay. It's when his hands around Phil McCracken. That's when you got to
worry.
worry.
We told you, whatever you are, Anonymous, we're okay with. If you want to pretend to be a car and make car sounds, we're okay with it.
So this is going to be Cash Conf?
Oh, my God. Wow, Baron,
All right.
yeah.
So we've got
Davis
this article
beard.
from Superhero Hype, and it says TMNT: The Last Ronin is getting a video game adaptation. All right, the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles are making their big screen comeback in this year, and the Seth Rogen produced Mutant Mayhem animated feature. But while the
Wrong.
film I wouldn't. Yeah, I wouldn't call that animation. I'd call that hideous.
It's basically the more animation than like the animation of Into the Spider-Verse, but I just don't think
I
it
know that,
works
Cash.
well.
I know that, Cash.
Yeah.
It may work for the Spider-Verse, but
Right,
who's to say it's
exactly.
going to work for
We've
Teenage
already
Mutant Ninja
seen
Turtles?
different ones. We've already what is the best style? For me personally, it's the original. I still think that holds up very well.
The original cell-drawn animation.
Yes.
Right.
The 3D was pretty good, though. I will say that, and the 2003 one was pretty good too. But
I'm sure Seth Rogen was sitting around going, "I know we can go back to the story when they were young tadpoles." It's like Seth, turtles
they
were never.
I know
tadpoles.
they made them teenagers, and they sound silly. It's like, no, I want the more grown-up turtles, but whatever.
I want more of what we got with the first Ninja Turtles live-action movie in '90.
Yes,
that's what I want.
That was much more teenage. They acted more teenager in that than anything else. Honestly, I mean, when you sit back and watch them out there with their pizza and stuff like that, and how they acted in the original show, it's like, yeah, that's believable teenagers. Older teenagers, but yeah, they're teenage.
Yes,
they're living up to that name, and they're living up to being a mutant turtle, and they're living up to being ninjas. So, I mean, hey, it all fits now.
Yes. Even in the 3D one, even though April, they turned her into a teenager, she was still April. Yeah. Casey Jones was still Casey Jones.
Very true. And this article goes on to say, but while the film looks like another family-friendly show, I wouldn't really use that term, especially associated with Seth Rogen. Entry in the franchise, Paramount's video game division has something else in mind. For those who prefer their reptiles to be a bit grittier, the studio, Polygon, is currently developing a new AAA adventure based on Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles: The Last Ronin, the graphic novel released by IDW in 2020. Originally published as a 5-issue miniseries, The Last Ronin took place in a futuristic, war-torn New York City where Master Splinter and all but one of the turtles have been killed by the Foot Clan. The last turtle standing wore a black mask, keeping his identity a secret until the end of the story. And to throw readers off even more, he used all 4 characters' signature weapons as he set out on a quest for revenge against the grandson of their greatest enemy, Shredder. TMNT creators Kevin Eastman and Peter Laird came up with the idea for The Last Ronin back in the 80s and collaborated on the series with writer Tom Waltz and artist Asao Escarosa. I don't know if I'm saying that right. Isaac Escarosa and Ben Bishop. The storyline was praised for offering a more adult take on the property, and according to Doug Rosen, the senior vice president for games and emerging media at Paramount Global, the video game aims to stay true to the mature spirit of its source material. He also confirmed that it will be a third-person action RPG that draws influence from Sony's God of War series. Okay. Because the original story primarily follows the journey of one hero, Rosen indicated that the game will be a single-player adventure. However, he didn't rule out the possibility of controlling the other 3 turtles during flashback levels. Unfortunately, the game is still a few years off from hitting consoles, but Rosen shared that Paramount has already found the right team of developers to bring the comic to interactive life, and we can expect to hear more updates in the months ahead. And do I think The Last Ronin could be a good video game if done right?
Yeah.
You know what? It would have to be done like Ghost of Tsushima. Now, I haven't played that game, but I've watched plenty of gameplay, and it looks like it's an excellent game. And I think a Ninja Turtles game in that style would work.
Yes, you should. You should definitely play that one. If they wanted it like a God of War, does that mean like the Ronin's going to say "boy" 30 times, 50,000 times? Boy, get over here, boy. You know,
Come
but
here
really,
with my pizza, boy.
It would be interesting to see if that would work, as we know the Turtles have been beat 'em ups. Pretty much, I think. Well, the fighting game, the beat 'em ups, I don't know if there's been any other Turtle games that were worth it, Mike.
I can't really say, but
No.
let's see, a game that is based off The Last Ronin, that tells me one thing: it's going to require stealth. And anybody who's watched my gameplay, you know that me and stealth don't exactly work hand in hand.
We're gonna work on Mike and his stealth. We're gonna work on it. We're gonna have him play Splinter Cell. We're gonna have him work on his stealth. Yeah.
What Splinter Cell doing?
Metal Gear.
It's like a meme I saw that said stealth is optional, and it has Bug Bunny from one of the shorts shooting a pistol when he's dressed up as a cowboy. I'm thinking, yep, that's me. Stealth in this mission. Yeah, I see my enemy right in front of me. I'm gonna shoot him.
Stealth is fun. It can be hard to break out of certain habits when you run and gun, and it can take a while to break out of that habit.
Go watch my Shadow of the Tomb Raider stream. You'll see exactly what I'm talking about.
Just move a little bit slowly. Wait for the guy. He's done some stealth though. I've seen it. I've seen it in Gotham Knights. Done some stealth. A bit.
And how did that work out for him?
You know how much that bothered me. It's like I got to be stealthy. I can't just run at this guy, beat the shit out of him.
He's imagining us as he's going after these guys. Cat, you Baron too.
It's like last night played Streets of Rage over on the Phantom Hooligans.
Yep.
Okay, Mike, we have to have a strategy. Watch the pattern. What did I do with that one boss? I Rambo'd it. And sometimes you gotta Rambo it. You gotta go in there and make sure they don't.
No.
You're their worst nightmare. That's what I did on the final boss. I made sure that both of those characters knew I was their worst nightmare.
Mike, no, you have it all wrong. It's Leroy Jenkins!
At least I got chicken. Yeah.
True.
It's funny too, because when that whole thing came out, it was actually, we just did that as a fake thing. It's like, well, I don't care. It's still funny. So, like, he got kicked out of the guild and then they invited him back. I'm like, that's great.
Who got kicked out of the guild?
That Leroy Jenkins guy.
Oh, Leroy Jenkins.
Got after he did, and then later on he said it was a whole joke, and I was like, well, you guys put together something fun, so that's really cool.
Yeah,
that people can remember forever in gaming. So,
but
good job.
The thing is, it is based in reality. You know people like that.
But people are like that. Yes, they are. Yes, they are.
Spock, how is Diablo 4? I know it's just the demo, but how is it?
Devilish.
Obviously.
It's fun. Lilith is quite scary.
Well, of course Lilith is scary. She was married to Fraser. What do you expect?
Oh my gosh, that's true. Good one. Yes. Fraser joke in there. Very good.
There we go.
Yeah. Sometimes I can put in a good joke. Most of the time, they're bad.
Yeah.
All right, and our final story for this edition of PACIFIC414 Pop Talk on this stormy Sunday here on the East Coast, at least where I'm at, is from Bounty into Comics, and it says Gina Carano responds to Kotaku's senior editor that culminated her as transphobic. The person who posted this is sad. Yep.
Yeah. Yeah.
Terror on the Prairie and My Son Hunter actress Gina Carano recently responded to Kotaku senior editor Alyssa Mercante, who culminated her. Yeah, I can't even speak right now.
Look, we did to him.
Culminated, or whatever. You know what? Who basically called her transphobic. There.
Yeah.
But I get to the point where I slander. Yeah.
Yeah, slander. Yeah.
On March 17th, Mercante took to Twitter writing, I am living for the fact that the Mandalorian kicked a muscular transphobe off the show and then brought in a muscular lesbian like you, Gina Carano. Yeah, whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah. So this is the actress that they're talking about. She's also in Ant-Man and Wasp: Quantumania.
Basically, again, she's a check mark. They're using her as a check mark.
Yeah. The post is full of lies meant to maliciously injure Carano's reputation. First off, Carano is not a transphobe. After being fired from The Mandalorian, Carano explained to Ben Shapiro on The Ben Shapiro why she refused to go along with the transvestite and gender ideology activist demanding she put pronouns in her Twitter bio. I ended up putting beep bop boop in my Twitter bio, and it was 100% to go to the Twitter mob that was telling you what to do. Yeah, they do.
It was funny.
It was. I laughed. I mean, heck, I'll admit it. I've been tempted to put in my bio clean on. Point me to the nearest battle. But yeah, she ended up putting beep bop boop into her bio, and it was 100% to go after the Twitter mob, will get their attention, and it had zero to do with trying to go after the transgender community because I would never do that. She added, just me personally, I'm not trying to target anybody or go out after anybody. And so as soon as I saw people started taking that wrong, I put it, excuse me, I put it right after I was like, no, beep bop, beep was me like just saying, literally said to my friend, I was like, let's put something in my bio just to show I can put whatever I want in my bio. Yeah, it's like me saying, Cleon. I am Cleon.
Like Cash does with Attack Helicopter.
Does the OE?
Yeah.
We're.
Like Crit puts Orca.
And speaking of Cleon, yes, I do have a profile pic of me from Star Trek Online as a Klingon. So there, I identify as a proud warrior of the Klingon Empire.
Claw poop. Plah.
It's Kapla. And here I was going to say glory to you in your house, but I'll have Gowron say it.
Glory to you and your house.
Gotta have eyes like that.
What? I'd say that freak you out?
That'd be cool to have eyes like that and freak everybody out. Hi, how you doing?
I am Gowron, Chancellor of the Klingon High Council. All right, so I've done better impressions of Gowron. Woof! It is where you belong. There we go. There's my Gowron.
I am a man of honor.
How can you give honor to people who are afraid to shed their own blood? Okay, so that's not the exact line, but you get the point.
Yeah. It's on top of my head.
And there's a quote here that says, it was just a big, massive meltdown. She elaborated, and all the fear and all of the stuff goes straight through your skin. and you start, whoa, what is happening? I told you I didn't mean this toward this community, and you're misunderstanding it. And it was just a shock. It was just shockwave. Sometimes reading these articles on Bound in the Comics trips me up.
Yeah, yeah.
A lot of time they're well written, but this one's kind of
Yeah. But
yeah.
anyways, basically, Gina Carano put Kotaku in their place, and
Right, and it's like what an irresponsible thing to put out there, and it also shows that she's living in their head still, rent free.
Oh, of course, yeah. They'll
They
embarrass.
knew that. They
They'll
knew she
embarrass
was very
themselves.
popular.
Right. Yeah, she's, and I know some people I've talked to, like Disney told her to stop, and she didn't, but Pedro Pascal did, and I'm like, I just think I think working for a company like Disney and trying to speak your mind and get people to think is probably a bad idea. But I don't know that she didn't stop. Who knows? I think where she is, she's better off anyways. So.
Yeah, I mean,
Personally.
I'll say it. Gina Carano did nothing wrong for one. No, she didn't. I mean, if you actually look at things fairly, I mean,
Yes,
we're
yes.
down the line. The one where they really went after is about not being able to basically blacklisting type of thing. But
Yes.
she was using the analogy of the Hebrew people during the 1930s and 40s. But it probably would have been better if she would have used like the blacklisting. But I don't think a lot of people would have gotten all that. But she's right. I mean, they proved exactly what she sat back and put in there, and how they reacted. Only did one thing: they proved she was right.
Yep.
She was correct.
Yes.
And I think that is hurting the Mandalorian a little bit because people liked her. I mean, I think it was basically Grogu and then her. And
Yeah,
then the
no,
Mandalorian.
yeah, we liked her. I mean, yes, characters like her oh my goodness, Cara Dune, right? Yeah.
Yeah, Cara Dune.
She wasn't like obviously the main character, and you can replace somebody like that. But yes, overall, I liked her character in The Mandalorian season 1.
Well, yes and no, she wasn't replaceable because she was being groomed for that Rangers of the New Republic
right?
show.
That Jon Favreau was going to write. Yeah, and I know, I'm
Right.
sure that still ticks him off, but
Right, exactly. So the thing is yeah, she was a lot more important to the whole thing, and they saw that. That's why she was, they were doing that. But I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, in The Mandalorian, she goes off and have her own show. I liked her character; it was good, but I understand even good characters can be replaced. But Disney is just overall with a lot of things, just a giant dumpster fire.
Well, that comes to the question: what do they replace it with? I know. How about a lady that boinks Jawas?
Oh, jeez.
Well, I mean,
Yeah.
'cause we've already discussed this on a previous episode of Pop Talk after watching the episode. When we watched episode 1 of season 3 of Picard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And, our disgust with them calling the Galaxy class the fat one.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I've only seen that episode, but I've been kind of following how Picard's been going. And I can see where Robert Meyer Burnett came up with about how great this is. Because it all seems like Picard is member berries. Remember this? Remember that? Hey, look, we brought this person in for a cameo or a quick little role. Hey, look, we're bringing all these people in. I think it's the nostalgia that they're going for. The member berries. And that's why people are going, oh.
I think if we weren't so negative towards entertainment in general, we might give some of this stuff a pass, but
I don't think it's that we're negative, Cash. I think we've been told so many times this is going to be Star Wars. This is going to be Star Trek like you know it. And then we watch it for ourselves and it's not Star Trek. It's not Star Wars. It's not Doctor Who. The list of franchises goes on, and it's not just on, the small screen or the big screen. It's in comics too, where they can't even create their own characters because they're too afraid to.
I know.
I don't think it's afraid. They can't do it. They don't have the ability to.
They're also afraid because they're worried about the mob. That's true, but they also just they also won't go back and do more research. There's a lot of things that they can do, and as we always tell people, the three of us, it's not that we're telling you not to watch this. You want to watch this, you like this, even if you like stuff like She-Hulk and stuff like this. Is not about if you like this or not, but there's certain people, like one of my friends, for example, who got really upset with me because I says I can't stand that show. That show was terrible, and she says, "Well, it's not for men," and I said that's a cop out. Yeah. So it's just a mess.
It's not just a cop out. That's It's a bad reason. Not that for men. Then of course, then your reaction is absolutely correct.
Mm-hmm. Yep, it's true.
She showed that your reaction isn't wrong.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
She validated your assessment of the show by saying that.
She did. So they deflect so hard about this stuff, and I understand. But if somebody says, "Oh well, I don't," just some random person. It's just like somebody I knew in high school. One of my friends. He's like, "I think Star Wars is stupid." That's fine. Did I get in his face and say, "How dare you, you asshole"? No, that's stupid.
You do that to me.
But nowadays, that's common. People will just get in your face if things start getting heated like that, and it's insane.
What about when it comes to Andor? There are people who like it, and other people who hate it, and it's the people that hate it that go up to the people that like it and say, "Oh, how could you like that show?"
I know. Yes.
Yeah. It's not Star Wars.
It's not Star Wars. Bounty in the comics did the same thing.
Right.
This is not Star Wars.
Now I haven't seen it, so I can't say one way or another. But I do. Yeah, I do have access now to be able to see it, so I might sit back and watch it for myself.
It's got a lot of compelling drama. Characters actually die. There's actually a more serious tone. That's what I found with Andor. And if you like Cassian, if you don't like Cassian, then you're not going to care about Andor.
It's not that I don't care about. I just don't care about him. It's that I don't have a like or a hate for the guy. Just like I never found him a compelling character in Rogue One. So
okay, yeah.
Really, I mean, I'm just being honest. Nothing against the actor or anything. I'd be honest with you. I didn't find many of the characters in Rogue One that compelling.
I didn't find them compelling because I knew they were all going to die.
I want to like Picard season 3. I want to like it as much as Robert Meyer Burnett and other people, but I'm not seeing it.
Well, it's member berries. Picard member berries. That's all it is. It seems like because every time I turn around, it's like, hey, look, they have this. Look at this, and then they clash with the canon. It's like we're gonna put up spoiler.
All right, let me get the spoiler, Branner.
Okay,
and that's fine. You feel that way
just in
about
case.
Andor, man. Everybody feels all different things about all kind of entertainment, but it's just like Doctor Who, the new Doctor Who. Yeah, it's weird. People make jokes about people being on drugs, the writers and stuff, because these episodes can be off the wall. They can be pretty nuts, but there was still character development. There's still people who like Doctor Who. And then there was a spin-off series, Torchwood, right? Yeah, Torchwood.
Well, they had a couple
was really good. Yeah. Torchwood was quite good.
Insurgent Adventures.
I don't think I watched that one. Hey, Gab just sent it.
Okay, there we go. We got that spoiler up there. Okay. So, I mean, we have clashing canon conflict here, where the HMS Bounty is sitting in the museum and they steal the cloaking device, but yet they had to go through all this stuff with the Pegasus, where they had to go through and try to design up a cloaking device when they already had the freaking thing.
No, not only that. I mean, we've got it up there. Season 3 of DS9, The Search, when the Defiant is introduced. If the Federation still had the HMS Bounty with its cloaking device and it was operating, why couldn't they have put that on the Defiant?
Right.
Instead of having to asked the Romulans for special permission to go into the Gamma Quadrant, and that was the only place they were allowed to use the cloaking device.
Which went out the window fast.
Yeah.
You know, I understand why people have a passion for stuff like SG1, Stargate 1, right? Stargate.
We've got somebody. We've got somebody in here who's passionate.
Yeah, and so I understand. So when those things change, for all the fans that have been watching it, but the new fans come in and like, this has to change, or the writers come in, this has to change, or this has to be this. It's the same way that I feel about Star Trek. The cursing, because this is not a Quentin Tarantino production. The cursing, just the fuck and the shit that I've said before. I had one person argue with me about that, but I don't like it. I don't think it's necessary, and I think it just is lazy writing. And it's just like, oh, isn't this edgy, guys? Isn't this edgy? Is it edgy? I don't think so. No.
Well, Starfleet had two cloaking devices. They had the Klingon one or the Romulan one, from Enterprise incident, right? So of course the Enterprise itself was cloaked. They had the HMS Bounty, which they fished out of the water, and they put in up there, and it seems like she's still operational. So there's two cloaking devices. They didn't need to go into this big secret operation to do cloaking devices when they had
there's three. There's three, Baron. There's three. Don't forget the Pegasus and the Phase Cloak.
Yeah. But that one didn't work.
It worked as soon as the Enterprise needed to get out of that asteroid.
Oh, that's true. It did.
Go ahead.
And putting that little thing in there that Starfleet can have cloaking devices is one of the biggest bullshit plot elements that they had for Star Trek.
Yeah, but make us care. Why is this whole thing also about a lot of new modern entertainment? They do such a poor job of making us care. Why are we supposed to care about this film? Why are we supposed to care about Jack Crusher? Is he a changeling? Okay, he might be. Why are we supposed to care? Why does he have stupid looks? Oh, some people say he doesn't have stupid looks. Fine. Why am I supposed to care about another Crusher? Like, it just goes on and on and on. And it's not just Star Trek. It's a lot of different shows. So just do a better job with these characters and make us care. Why do we care still about Captain Picard to an extent, even with Picard, is because Picard is still, well, I do feel they've made him weaker, and I don't really like that. I don't care.
I'm sorry.
Sorry, exactly. Gosh. I don't like that. I really don't.
He should be like Phil McCracken by now.
Right.
In Star Trek. I mean, I'm not kidding.
Yeah, no, I agree.
Yeah.
Yeah, everything is just. I don't think you've watched this episode yet, Baron. But this
I haven't watched any episode of Picard except for the first one.
The Picard. Didn't you watch Picard season 3 with us that one day? I think you did.
Only the first episode.
Wait! I thought you watched the first.
I thought you watched 2 episodes. Yeah.
No, I only saw one episode of the first one.
All right.
Well, I mean, we're getting. Yeah, we get to the point with Picard where he says, "Oh, the only family that I ever have is Starfleet." And I'm sure people would argue with me to the cows come home, but I don't. That's
bullshit.
Not true.
Bullshit. Generations.
Yes.
We knew he wanted a family of his own.
Mm-hmm.
He longed to have the same family that Robert had.
Right.
Yeah.
With his wife and his nephew Renee. He wished he had a son of his own, and that Renee was going to be the closest that he would have to a son. And Renee wanted to join Starfleet because, like Jean-Luc, he gazed at the stars. He wondered what was out there.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
He wasn't abused by his father growing up, like they were saying in Picard season 2.
Yeah, and then they tell us Geordi. I liked Geordi's daughter. She's like, oh, I'm on top of this, with doing her work, helping the ship. I'm like, okay, I like this. And then she's talking to 7 of 9, and what did she say to her? Well,
Geordi had a hard time making friends. Bullshit again.
Right. Who was his best friend?
Data.
Yes.
Yeah.
Mhm.
He
Who
didn't
were
have a
his
hard-
other friends? Other members of the Enterprise crew.
Yep.
Did he not sit in on the poker games?
He did sit in on their poker games.
Exactly.
Who became a great friend to him? Reginald Barkley.
Yep.
That's right. Yes.
When Picard says,
Barclay.
instead of pointing out the man's flaws, get to know the man.
Mhm.
That last part is actually what Picard says. Get to know the man.
Right.
Yes.
Now, the person where the family was Starfleet, that's Kirk.
Mm-hmm.
For Kirk, that was his life, his career, his family. Yeah, he finally met a son he didn't know about, but unfortunately, he was snatched away, and he never had a chance to grow and have a relationship with his son. Thank you, Klingons. But when it came down to it, and it was made many mentions, his family was Spock, McCoy. It was Scotty. It was the rest of them. They were the family. There was something, for Picard, it's kind of hard, especially with the fact that he didn't want to have kids on board a starship.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because in Encounter at Farpoint, Picard says to Riker, "I'm not a family man, Riker,"
Mm-hmm.
and he basically asks Riker for help
Mm-hmm.
at dealing with a ship that has families on board, and that being children.
And Picard never really partook with the other crew. I mean, it was the last episode that he finally sat in on a poker game.
And he said, "I should have done this a long time ago." And Troy tells him, "You're always welcomed."
Right. See, they lost something big time with Next Generation without exploring the true family dynamic. The one where DS9 got it right.
Yeah. Jake and Benjamin, their relationship, Rom and Nog and Quark.
Right.
Yeah, I'm
the
still gonna have to
O'Briens.
watch. Yeah, I'm still gonna have to watch more of Deep Space Nine. It's just it just doesn't click with me like you guys yet. I like some of the characters, but I've got to watch more.
You've only seen season 1 and season 2.
Right.
Wait till you get to
Now-
season 3, then season 4, 5, 6.
Then it gets more compelling.
Yes, there is season 7, but I think it loses a little something in season 7. Just my opinion.
I think all season 7's kind of wore down. It was like it's time to go now. But the thing is Picard and Crusher should have gotten together, and then Picard trying to figure out how to be a father to Wesley. And when Gates McFadden actually did get pregnant for real in life, that was their opening door for a chance to have another young Picard, and how Picard is going to react to having another generation. See, I put it in there. See, generation. See, they lost so much. I mean, even Riker and Troy, if you would have gone that way, and instead of why have families on board when you're not going to take advantage of it?
Exactly.
That is the huge elephant in the room that was never discussed. And we're going to do this, but we're going to go like the old Star Trek. It's like, no, I thought we were going to go to a new Star Trek here. We're going to go into different areas and explore different things. But no, they never followed through. And that's why Star Trek Next Generation isn't as high on the list for Star Trek series as the others.
I mean, you want to know my ranking? And usually my ranking is keeping the original series out of the list because I hold that to its own standards.
It's sacred.
And I go Deep Space Nine, Next Generation, Voyager, then Enterprise. Well, if I include the original series, its original series and Deep Space Nine very close to one another, if not tied.
What about the animated?
The animated series, I would put that after those two. Because, in my opinion, and this is just my opinion. I know Gene Roddenberry didn't think so, but in my opinion, that series is canon, and that's seasons 4 and 5 of the original series.
Well, Roddenberry was all over the effing place with that too. He would say it is and he's not, and then it is and it's not. I mean, Roddenberry. It depends on what he was smoking. Uh, I mean, the Star Trek Technical Manual, the first one that came out, that was absolute canon. And it was great. Then he decided, no, it's not. And Gene Roddenberry was schizophrenic all over the place on that. And if it wasn't for people like DC Fontana and Gene L. Kuhn, I don't think we would have had a great show like we did.
No,
Really,
no.
I don't. And I mean, I don't mean to bash Gene
it's just
Roddenberry,
like,
but he had issues.
it's just like George Lucas. He needed people to keep him reined in.
Yeah, yeah. I mean,
Marshall Lucas. Without her, Star Wars wouldn't have been edited the way it was to tell the story the way it was meant to be told.
if Gary Kurtz wasn't there to help keep him in line, other things too. I mean, it was Marshall Lucas. It was Gary Kurtz. Because Gary Kurtz was not a yes man, not like what's his name that came later with the prequel trilogy. But that's just it. He didn't have yes men necessarily around him. He had people trying to keep him based in reality on doing doing the story. And it shows with Return of the Jedi. Why Return of the Jedi is kind of the lesser of the two because Gary Kurtz was gone and George Lucas was starting to open up the gateway to what we'd see with the prequel trilogy.
Mm-hmm. I mean, don't get me wrong. I know there are people who love Return of the Jedi. My own sister's one of them.
Oh yeah.
But to me, I know it sounds like I'm just repeating the line that everyone else says, but to me, it was great the way it started. It was great the way it ended. Was Empire Strikes Back.
Mm-hmm.
For once, you had a movie end on a question mark.
Right.
What's going to happen to our heroes?
Mm-hmm.
The Empire won in that movie, in my opinion.
Right. And unlike The Last Jedi, everybody wasn't sitting around like kumbaya because they got their asses handed to them.
Well, it's always funny the sequels come up. It's just once again, I always say the same is you can clap, you can spin around in your chairs, you can love the sequels, you can not love the sequels, but there really isn't much of a direction at all. It's all just all over the place. And the biggest thing for me will always be, how Rey's supposed to be this strong, but we don't explain her origins enough until the third movie. Then they say and then you go,
Well, I don't have I mean, yeah, if people want to like that sequel trilogy, fine. I bet you a lot of them that hold it so high never saw the other Star Wars films. Just like people go crazy about Doctor Who now, never saw the original Doctor Who show, all across the board. Same thing with the Star Trek. Disco is STD is so great. Have you watched any other Star Trek? No, I wouldn't watch that. And literally, you get that. I mean, my ranking for Star Wars is a little bit different. I mean, I go in order. I think Star Wars, the first one, is really awesome because George Lucas broke many rules of filmmaking and bringing a great story together with it. I don't think people realize how much George Lucas broke molds for the original Star Wars. I mean, he got in trouble for it. And left the Directors Guild because of it, because he didn't put the people's names in the beginning of the film. He basically threw you into action. He basically made you focus on two things that are not human for about 10 minutes with the droids, and making you care about it. And then you bring the protagonist in about 15 minutes later until we see Luke Skywalker. And of course, you saw the little things around. Of course, Vader and Leia and Tarkin, but it didn't. It didn't take. Took a little while before you saw the main protagonist of the whole thing. He broke those rules, and of course, I'm sure a lot of that help came from his former wife and even Gary Kurtz. But that helped lead the way to having Empire the way it was and leaving that question mark at the end. He couldn't have the question mark at the end of Star Wars because he didn't know if there was going to be another film. But obviously, Empire, they knew they could, so they could do that question mark. And it just flowed in there. And I hold Empire and the original Star Wars about equal. I really do.
Really?
Yeah, I do. Because, but again, it has to do, again, with the breaking the mold. Both of those movies broke molds.
Yeah.
Return of the Jedi really didn't. It's a little bit lower than the other ones, but I liked it. Don't get me wrong. I love watching Return of the Jedi. I really did.
I'll still watch it to this day.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I like things about it. I'm not a fan of the Ewoks and the dee with the special edition, but other than
no. You don't like Yub Nub. That's your problem. You don't like Yub Nub.
Yup.
I don't have a problem. It's that other song, whatever it is.
Yeah, the one they inserted for the special edition.
I just think that song's ridiculous.
It does. It's like I don't want to even think about it. But you know, the fact that both of those films were Empire and the original Star Wars broke such molds on there. That's why I hold them equal. And of course, you wouldn't have had Empire without Star Wars. Mm-hmm. And it's so fascinating to see how things change with the characters, and there's a growth from the characters. You could see growth already in the original Star Wars with Luke already. And of course, each film you saw different growth of Luke throughout there. Same thing with Han and even all the characters had some sort of growth from one film to another. They weren't Mary Sue's.
No,
they weren't.
Luke didn't wake up one day, drink a glass of blue milk, and go, "I know everything what there is to know about being a Jedi."
Mm-hmm.
Right. Yep.
And Obi-Wan just didn't say, "Luke, you're a Jedi. You know everything. You don't need my training. I needed training from my master, Master Yoda." Wait. I thought it was Qui-Gon Jinn.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's the same thing with stuff like Rey. If they really explored it and they really made you care, and they even showed, not just say it, but actually showed some good flashbacks and stuff, you'd be like, oh, crap. Like if the Emperor showed something to Rey and Rey became evil, I don't know. They could have done so many things.
She already was evil. She was a Palpatine.
Yeah.
I mean,
she killed the Skywalkers, took their sabers, and buried them.
Yep. In sand. She took Anakin's lightsaber and put it in sand.
Mm-hmm. And I do want to say thank you to Lord Thoth for stopping by. It was great to see you.
Star Wars is always a whole thing. I mean, they, for whatever reason, and other people have done this, they should just hire people who do a lot of these what ifs, what if this, what if that. It'd be really interesting. Animation form. I don't know. It could probably work in live action too. You need a good budget, but yeah, I don't know. Star Wars right now for me is just up and down. It's like I will watch this new season, and I don't know. I still need to watch season 2 of The Bad Batch, and I don't think I watched Trials of the Jedi yet, which I know some people liked and some people didn't.
Tale of the Jedi.
I don't know. Or excuse me, Tale of the Jedi. Yes,
it should be Trials, but yeah.
Well, it's with a lot of entertainment. It's the same with Marvel. It's the same with DC. Let's have if you guys are really lost and you don't even know what you really want to do, here's the comic books. Here's the graphic novels. Why? Well, let's start bringing this stuff alive again. You guys finally, Zack Snyder brought Watchmen alive, and I thought overall, compared to the graphic novel, there's a lot of really good stuff in there. That movie's very underrated.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
I mean, I've never saw the movie. I read the book, but I never seen the movie.
You know, why don't they take a page from even Christopher Nolan? I mean, with him, like he wants to do stuff that's very interesting. He does his research just like his brother does. not that I'm saying Christopher Nolan knows everything, but he has these. We finally got to see Batman broken, like legitimately broken. That I know Crit has a problem with The Dark Knight Rises, fine, but we got to see Batman broken because that's what would happen when you're putting your body through all that pressure every day. So,
your body would break.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's realistic that way.
Yes, exactly.
So again, that's storytelling. I mean, or
Yes.
being able to tell a story, or be able to,
Stephen
get
Rance,
a character to be here for.
Yes.
Good to see you, Steven.
I know you're here, man, and I don't know if you're. I saw your question. I answered it before. I was just. Did you watch all of the Trigun reboot? I guess it's considered a reboot. You said they change everything. It's our worst fears. I remember that. I wasn't really able to answer that question before when I was on stream. But did you actually watch all of that? Do you think the reboot is actually worth watching? I probably will still watch it, but I guess the 3D looks pretty good. But I just have this feeling every time in my gut that they're going to change stuff. Even when it's Japanese, they're going to change stuff. And it's just going to aggravate me.
Because we want it to be true to the source material, true to the character.
I do.
And even
True
if it
enough.
is, if it is true to the source material and character in the Japanese original, once they dub it over here, I've seen it in My Hero Academia where they add some of the latest.
They've done a really good job with
tropes
that, though. They've done a really good job with that overall, though.
Yeah,
dub version.
They have, but they have let a few things slip in there.
Oh, I'm sure they have.
That I was able to catch. So I was watching one of the seasons with a friend one time. I said, "Did you hear that? Did you hear what they just said?" And he's all, "Yeah, I was hoping you picked up on it." And I said, "I did." Why do you think I'm asking you?
Yeah.
Well, talk about video games going to live action, whether it's games or movies, or TV or movies. What do you feel about the Fortnite? Fallout. Fallout TV show.
I mean, we've had apocalypse.
I don't think we need any more post-apocalyptic TV shows.
Yeah,
I really don't. How many more do we need?
No,
especially when based on a game.
Shows. Yep.
Well, we already had one that was based off a game. That's The Last of Us.
Yeah, I was just going to mention that.
Yep.
And this is a spoiler, by the way, everybody. If you haven't seen The Last of Us TV show, there's only 2 episodes to my count that actually follow the game somewhat.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there's
and this is coming from someone who hasn't played the game, but I've actually watched gameplay.
Mm-hmm.
Just to have some better knowledge of the series.
Yep.
Don't believe him. He did the CPU versus CPU.
Baron. You know what?
That's it.
We've got the whole show without me having to do this. But you know what? It's got to be done.
I want you to know it's over.
Well, bye.
I thought we were going to get through one show without me having to hit the eject button. Nope, we cannot get through one show. And yes, Barrett, I know you can bring yourself back in. I know you can. And hello to Pop Culture Mechanic. Congratulations on reaching 800 subs, brother.
Yep, I knew you were going to get there, dude. I knew it. We're happy you're around our community, man. We really are. And we're happy your channel is doing well.
I try to support as many channels as I can.
Yep.
And sometimes when I have my own streams, I'll literally go by the channels, say hi, just drop in a like, helping the algorithm. don't let him in. Don't let him in. Don't let him in.
It's too funny.
Don't let him in. Let him think about what he did. Think about what you did. You're in timeout. I don't know. Should I bring him back in?
If you want to. I mean, the show's almost over anyway.
Yeah. I was gonna go ahead and ask you guys to go ahead and promote your stuff and Phantom Hooligans. Yeah, I smart
Hell
ass.
Yeah. Baron, he's just too much. He's gonna turn into Phil Jr.
Wait, I thought he was Phil Jr. Just
maybe yes.
A few more of his marbles intact. Let's see. Phantom Wannabe says he can't come back in until he goes potty outside.
Oh my gosh.
I don't know. I just don't know if I should. All right. All hands, red alert.
Yep.
I'm locking onto his signal now. Let's see if he'll rematerialize.
What the hell did Crit eat? My God, that was smelly. I never knew orcas could make that smell. Oh God, I thought they smelled bad on the outside. Oh.
You can tell we're getting ready to wind down the show.
That's right. Too funny.
And DJ Ronnie G says, I got one upload that is ready to publish after I add a thumbnail. Thumbnails are good. They're always good.
Yeah. I mean, unless you cut them down too far and get that hangnail, and it's not so good.
Oh, okay, Baron. Okay, all right. You didn't have to point it out. I know, man. Come on, man. Why do you gotta be like that?
Well, it's me.
Yeah.
I guess he's right. Maybe seals cause bad gases.
All right, so Baron.
All right. So, gentlemen, go ahead and plug your channels, starting with the guy just beamed back on board the ship.
Oh, I get that. Okay. So, yeah, of course, I got Baron Norman Tags, Fandomology. It's a bit of a break right now. I'm enjoying. And hopefully later next month, I'll be getting some new stuff out. And I'm going to talk with you guys about what I should do about a live stream. But now that the chaos of the last 6-8 months that I've gone through here, I'm able to start focusing on that. But of course, I'm moving on basically the 17th. I'm moving to new abodes. I'm going from Tag Manor to Tag Cottage, so it's kind of a downsize, but not that bad. And I just want to sit back and say a lot of stuff that's been on my shoulders has been taken off.
Awesome.
So when it comes right down to that's my channel. I'm going to be in less than an hour. I'll be with the Kings, 24/7 Fusion Media. So we have the Primetime Kings of live stream, of course, Pop Talk here, Pop Talk on Wednesday, and this Saturday I'm going to try to make a big effort to join Gary and Keith on Pulp Culture Minefield, and later with Raymond Feliciano on King Dolphin TV on Saturday. So that's my list of things. And of course, if anything pops up, I think I'm going to be joining Phil tonight for the episode 1 talk. So
yes, I will be as well.
Okay, good. So I'm going to be going in there. So to be a thorn on his side in there. So
very good.
Nice. So you can be a thorn on his side, just like he's a thorn on our side.
Oh, yeah. And you know what? The sad thing is, unfortunately, because I have dropped out a little bit for the last few, but like I said, a lot of shit's been going on. I haven't had a chance to really talk with Phil lately. I miss Phil. After a while, you do kind of miss Phil. With every bullet, you miss Phil.
You sure about that? You sure about what you just said?
Well, usually that goes away after about 2 minutes being with him. But
All right.
yeah.
And anything else or anyone else that you'd like to promote?
Me? No, that's about it.
Yeah.
No.
All right.
I want to promote the Phantom Hooligans. They seem to be getting some life going here.
The hooligans, yes. Baron Ormo tag.
Ooh, I like that. How about Baron Orgasmo tag? Ooh, there we go. Hey,
Okay.
baby, I'm Baron Orgasmo.
Whatever, please.
We have Baron after dark for real here.
Pleases you on your personal time is your own thing, Baron.
Yeah.
We come out to the Baron hot tub and enjoy some bubbly.
Yeah, whatever you do in your hot tub, you call a pot of boiling water. That's on you.
Pot of boiling water and chili the night before. That'll get the bubbles going.
He says it's a hot tub, but it's actually a scene from Bugs Bunny.
All right. Cash Money 007 of the Phantom Hooligans. You're hereby charged with promoting your own channel. Come on, do it. Do it now.
Yeah, yes, we've Mike and I just recently finished Streets of Rage 4, and besides going on Pop Talk on Wednesdays and usually Sundays, I've been awake though. But yeah,
that's a miracle in itself.
It sometimes is. Yeah, so next week will be more gaming streams. I haven't decided what days are going to do it. I'm working on consistently doing at least 2 streams on the Phantom Hooligans a week. So, and there will be in the future, not yet, but probably a few weeks from now or more, there'll be another discussion stream. But for now, there's going to be gaming, so I'm just finding another game that I want to play next week and go from there. It will probably be Saints Row 2. We're going to see how many times that game crashes while I'm live. It'll be fun.
Wait a minute, Gap. In order to lose something, you have to have something first. I never had it. I can't speak for Baron and Cash, but I never had it.
Yeah. But yeah, that's what's going to be going on in the Phantom Hooligans next week. So
very nice. And as far as Pacific 414 is concerned, this Wednesday will be the Wednesday edition of Pacific 414 Pop Talk with myself and my 2 co-hosts, Baron Norman Tag and Cash Money. And then Thursday, and I'm going to go ahead and say it now. I'm not going to wait for Thursday to actually say it. Thursday, I am going to do the first episode of season 5 of the box score. I had seriously considered just putting the whole thing on hold, but I figured, you know what? I already made the video intro way before I found out how much MLB.TV, the live streaming service, was going to be for this year. And since the games are going to be free from the 30th until Monday, I believe, yeah, Monday's the 3rd, April 3rd, I might as well cover at least a couple Cub games, give my reaction to them. So there will be episode 362 of the box score on Thursday. As far as episodes after that, I'll do them whenever I can. Whenever there's a free game on, I'll try to cover it if I can. If there's not, I might make a brief mention of what's going on with the Cubs in a video or on an edition of Pop Talk. I might just briefly say tonight, the Cubs beat the St. Louis Cardinals by a score of 2-0. Something like that. Hey.
You did that just to go after Whoopa, didn't you?
Well, he'll get a kick out of it. Because he'll brag about the 11 championships the St. Louis Cardinals have.
Yeah.
But yes, I figured, you know what? I'm gonna go ahead and just do it because I already had it prepped, and honestly, it wouldn't be this channel if I didn't say something about opening day. And then, of course, Thursday we have that. I don't think I'm going to do any streams on Friday. And then Saturday is going to be my birthday stream where I will be celebrating my 45th birthday. And it is going to be an open panel where we can talk about pretty much anything but politics.
Woo!
And like I said, it's an open panel. Everybody's invited. And yes, I will probably bring up what happened in Saturday's Cubs Brewers game.
Dun,
Why?
Dun, dun.
Because it wouldn't be PACIFIC414 without me mentioning something baseball related. These two guys know it, and long time subscribers know it, and I just want to let the new subscribers know. Expect me to bring up a baseball reference every now and then, or to say something's happening in the game going on. Dude, come on. What? You get the bases loaded, nobody out, and you couldn't bring in a single run? I have said that before.
I knew you'd break. I knew you'd break.
Baron, like I said, I already had the video intro made and thumbnail made long before I found out that the service was going from $89 for the season all the way up to $150 for the season. It's like, well, what am I going to do? Let that thumbnail and that video intro go to waste?
See how he's stretching people? See how he's stretching for excuses? It works. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
There's some shenanigans going on in the chat again.
I see that. Shenanigans.
Go Blue.
Hey.
Not that.
Go Blue Jays. Hey, at least they're not the Cardinals, so got nothing against them.
Hey, when am I going to be on the Phantom Hooligans? See, I said it right this time.
Soon. When we do a discussion stream, we'll talk about it. Yeah.
Can I become a hooligan too? I want to be a hooligan. I want to be a hooligan.
I mean, you have so many commitments already. I don't know if you want to be.
Oh, I'm committed, all right.
Yeah, what the fuck, dude? What the fuck? There was an open panel this last Wednesday. You could have been on this past Wednesday.
That's right, Gap. You think we don't pay attention to certain things in chat? We're ignoring you. Surprise! Surprise!
What the fuck?
Yeah, like we want to have you.
What do you think the open panels are there for? Just to hear me ramble on for 2-3 hours?
And more importantly, why would we want to have you and Phil together be listening to an old couple bickering? Like two old gay couple bickering back and forth. I mean,
what the hell? What the hell, dude? You know Pop Talk has gone to 2 open panels per month, effective this year. Go back to the December 18th Pop Talk where I make the announcement.
Oh, here we go again.
He's a joker. He's a midnight joker. Are you a midnight toker, Gap? Be honest with us.
Gap. What? You are a troublemaker.
Yes.
Open panel is not being... Open panel is for anybody who wants to come on. And that means if you wanted to come on this past Wednesday, you could have. All you had to do was click on the link, confirm who the hell you are, and join the panel.
I'm pretty sure Mike would be, if you would be like, even if it's not an open panel, you message him, be like, hey, Mike, could I be on the panel? And Mike will probably say, the word yes. I could be wrong, but...
Yeah.
More than likely, anybody who DMs me and says I'd like to come on the show, I'd probably say yes.
Well,
but you see what my own chat is trying to do to me, make me look like the bad guy.
We even
You
found
are.
out
You
secret
are.
things about Anonymous that, he's, yeah, he might be a puppet, I heard. It's crazy. People just
Ooh.
put their hand up him and start.
I got to take off, though. I just got summoned. So,
Okay.
So
All right.
talk to you guys later. Talk to everybody in the chat and who's been lurking. Great talking with you. And, of course, in about a half hour, catch me on the Kings.
There you go.
Okay.
Take care, brother.
All.
See you later, buddy. All right.
Let me say it again. You've never invited me lately to the stream with a personal invite.
Oh,
wow. I invited you last month, dude.
Personal invite? What do you want? Click on the letter?
What the hell? Does it have to be stamped?
Oh, yeah.
And I'm not talking about, a postage stamp. I mean, an old. I can't think of the term off the top of my head right now, but the stamp letter, like a royal letter from the king, a royal decree. Hey, PACIFIC414 invites Gap After Dark to join his panel on Pop Talk on this date. I mean, we already got a monocle wearing orca boy here.
No, Gab, you don't. You can always ask Pacific to be on a panel, man, on a stream. You know that. You should. Aren't you also one of his mods? Special delivery.
Last month.
Oh man, dude.
You want to be on? You want to be on every panel? I don't know if I could put you through that torture. Being with me every week. Hi, Gap. Oh shit, I'm with Mike again.
Oh, that's cool, DJ. Yeah.
You know what this reminds me of? It reminds me of last month when I didn't highlight your comment and you didn't highlight my comment. Why didn't you highlight my comment?
Yeah.
Why should you ask? Why should it invite you? Dude, really? Oh gosh, it's been a month since Mike hasn't invited me to Pop Talk. I wonder if we're still on speaking terms. Mike, do you not like me anymore? I can change. Dude, I'm going to invite you, okay?
Okay, Cap.
Jeez, relax, man.
Cap, are you just giving shit to Mike because you want to? Be honest with me.
This isn't even April Fool's Day. This isn't even my birthday, man. Why should Anonymous have to ask Mike either? He didn't have to ask the last time. I sent him the DM with the link during the show.
Oh,
gosh. Gap After Dark is a troublemaker.
Cap broke Mike. Broke him. Doc Pop is silencing.
This is funny. The other day, a dinosaur died on Crit's Jurassic Park stream. As a result, I ran to feed my turtles. Crit, now you're starving animals?
It's terrible.
What the hell, man? Cash,
That's
everybody is a mod in Mike's chat.
Everybody.
I don't feel special.
Oh. And the laughing, yeah.
Yeah. Of course he hates us all. We all know that. He comes by your streams, or does he even bother? I don't know.
Oh,
it seems like Phil picks and chooses his victims.
Yes.
Gap, Gap, Gap. Trouble After Dark. That's your new
Trouble
name.
After Dark. I like it.
Forget Gap After Dark, and don't try to play sweet and innocent and go. I didn't do nothing wrong. I was just asking for an invite after not being on Pop Talk for a month.
All going to hell.
He came by once, I think. Well, I'm surprised you didn't have armed guards and dogs trained to sniff him out and take care of him, lined up in front of your channel. The moment they got his scent,
This is scent.
release the hounds.
Yes.
But yeah, I do want to thank everybody for being here, even a troublemaker named Dark. Yeah, you, buddy, you. But for those of you who are here, and there were quite a few of you here, we had Lord Crit of Everest Productions. Yes, he's wearing his suit and tie, and he's wearing one of his best coats while wearing his suit.
I will play more Jurassic Park. I finished it.
Yes. Yeah. He wear his silk top hat with his monocle and his cane, his best cane. And Spock stopped by. Thank you, Spock. He was on our left. Tim's talk.
Yep.
Kathy Skywalker. There was Apion. Scott Westbrook. Whoopa Troopa. The Cardinal fan.
Yeah, I know who he is.
Raquel SSG 2211. And of course, pain in our side, but we love you. We love you, Phil. We love you. Phil McCracken. Lord Thoth. Thank you, Lord Thoth. We also had Gap After Dark. Stephen Ransom. And Pop Culture Mechanic. And for some reason, it didn't save one of the other ones. So I gotta do some scrolling here real quick. Give me a second. I thought I had started, but apparently I didn't, and I don't want to forget anyone. So give me a second. Give me a second to scroll up here. All right. Where are you? Where are you? I know you were here. I know you were here. Gotta scroll up, scroll up, scroll up, scroll up, scroll up. Oh, there's Lorenzo. So there's Lorenzo. And come on. Scrolling up, scrolling up. There you are. There you are. There you are.
Nice.
And Midnight Magic Musings, who I met him and Apion over on Fat Steven's stream, where he was inviting people to come on and promote their channels. So it was a pleasure meeting you too. Hope to see you more here on Pacific 414, and I will definitely stop by your channels and make my presence known. So thank you all so very much. And let me just look at these last couple of comments. DJ Ronnie G says, for my birthday this June, I'm going to ask to be on Pop Talk if it's on the same day. You see what you have started, you troublemaker. Yeah, the troublemaker. Gap. The guy who eats himself from streams. You've eaten yourself from streams in the past, my friend. All right. So with that being said, thank you all once again for being here. I greatly appreciate it. Thank you for supporting not just this channel, but the Phantom Hooligans, Paranorman Tags, Phantomology,
Yes.
and everybody who's in the chat. Everybody has a channel. Thank you for supporting their channels. You know, that's how we grow here on YouTube. YouTube's not going to help us, so we've got to help each other, and we got to stand by one another.
Nope.
So, thank you all so very much. Hope you have a good rest of your Sunday. Oh God! Listen to this guy. Listen to this guy. I'm trying to get out of here, and he keeps throwing in that bait, and I keep going for it. My channel is not even listed on Stream Elements. I never see it. It's because your channel's part of Nightbot.
It's all gone to hell.
It is part of Nightbot, Gap. Pain in the ass after dark. There, see? Your freaking channel. There you go. Your freaking channel. God. You believe this guy? Okay. You believe this guy? Everybody, beware of Gap After Dark. If he's a mod on your channel, I'll ask, where's my link? Where's my link? How come I'm not on your show? No one fires me from this channel. I do the firing here. Take care, everyone. You have yourselves a good one. And again, if you see this man, call the authorities right away and let them know that he's causing trouble on YouTube. All right.
This has been a test of the emergency hypnotoad system. Had this been an actual hypnosis, you would go limp and watch whatever crap comes on next.
I am sub to you.
I didn't even know you had a channel until today, you knucklehead.